What's good, everybody? Good evening. It is Tony the Savant. I'd like to welcome y'all to the first episode. A little idea that I had it on the whim, and I'll give y'all some backdrop as to how this particular show came about. But welcome. It is Tony the Savant. If you don't mind, before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we're dropping content and going live. If you have not joined the family already, please hit the subscribe button. I stay busy on this platform, so got to be much obliged. But let's get to this work because I got some special guests up here. You have made. I don't think we had Mike. No, we had Lewis up here before. I actually got Mike and Lewis and Clubber D up here for the first time. But how y'all doing tonight, gentlemen?
All
Doing
right,
good,
Yeah, we
man.
making it work, making it work.
Beautiful day.
Amen,
let's
amen.
go.
Sure.
I definitely appreciate y'all coming up. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna go around the horn. And if you don't mind, introducing your platform, Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and throw you in there first.
All right. So, Mike Wilson, you can call me 25 Sports Reports is ordered. Everywhere you get your podcast, YouTube started about a year ago with a fellow vet, Raphael Rutley, aka Mr. Logical. So you can catch us for sports talk enhanced. No hot takes, just straight up raw, authentic talk on Mondays and Thursdays.
Good deal, me, bro. Yeah, sure. And they doing great work over there. I was watching y'all's last episode that y'all had up there. Well, I think y'all was live. I was watching it during the hockey play, y'all, the game
Yeah.
seven.
Yeah, we were live last night with the NBA draft talk.
All right, Club of D, big bro. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's Clubber D. It's call myself the Combat G. I talk about anything combat sports related, from boxing to bare knuckle fighting to MMA, tiddlywinks, rock paper scissors. I talk about it all. You can find me on Ball and Buds. I sometimes pop in on the Bottom Line Sports, but we do a combat show. Usually when there's a big boxing fight or a UFC event, we'll come on and do a show for that. We'll be on this Thursday on a Ball and Buds, so you can catch us on Ball and Buds at Ball and Buds on YouTube. And I got a TikTok page I just put out there, just Clubber D, and you can find me on there. I got just put up a short on Deontay Wilder. Got a couple views on that, so yeah, you check us out.
Big bro, working.
I'm trying.
Shout out to the sports professor over there at Ball and Bloods, and also the brothers at the Bottom Line Sports. They actually live right now. We're trying to tap in. And last but not least, no stranger to the channel, the maestro virtuoso himself, Mr. Lewis. Let the people know
Thanks.
where they can find you.
Okay, speaking of enhanced, my show is called the Enhanced Sports Show. We're on Saturdays 4 to 6 p.m. Here on the East Coast. I'm based out in New Jersey, or some say the baby bro of New York. We talk all sports. We talk mostly the major sports: MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA. We also talk college football and basketball. Yes, we do cover boxing and UFC, but I have my co-host to handle most of that. And yes, we do handle the women's sports like the WNBA because that's been a hot topic. So we're on 4 to 6. I'm also on YouTube. You can check the YouTube for after the show. It's a live call-in show on my show. So if you get a chance, just go to YouTube, type in the Enhanced Sports Show, and you'll see the number up on the screen. I don't know if I should give it out on this show or not, so I'll just leave it at that. But if you want me to, I'll bring it up later.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say if you don't mind, send me the links, and I'll put those in the bio.
Well, I don't have. Well, that's a little bit problem because I have a little trouble with the links, but I do post it up on Facebook on Fridays.
Okay, well, okay.
The
Well,
information Thursday
I'll,
and Fridays. I do post it up on Facebook, and I go on YouTube to explain it, so you can get it from there.
okay, and for sure, and yes, you know what I mean. I meant to say that while we was backstage. If you don't mind sending me your links to your YouTube or whatever your number one platform is, so I can put those in the bio. And I'll just take yours from you, Lou. I didn't rip a few of your links before.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. Well, let's get into some topics. We got much to discuss. I love this panel and this kind of approach that we're going to have because all of you gentlemen are experts in your respective sports that you follow. So
Thank
we
you.
should get some nice takes for the people. But let's start off. I didn't put it on the docket, but we were talking about it a little bit behind the scenes. Lewis, you made a mention of the WNBA. It looks like they are on the rise finally after 28 years of ragging us and telling us how we should be paying attention. They're finally getting the attention that they're rightfully so.
Yeah.
We know it's much to do with Caitlin Clark, but there's a few other young ladies in this draft.
Angel Reese,
my favorite. Being from Chicago,
Sabrina. We can't forget Sabrina.
Well, Sabrina isn't from this class, but she is. I feel like the WNBA had a problem marketing the stars that they already had, and Sabrina is one of those. She's talking about Caitlin Clark, the Steph Curry. Now, Sabrina's the Steph Curry of the WNBA, rightfully so.
Much.
But let's go around the horn. If you don't mind, Luz, I'll start with you. How are you feeling about the WNBA, man? Just the tension in the room.
I mean, it's as strong as it's ever been. I remember when it first started, and it caught a buzz. You had Teresa Witherspoon, you had Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo. These were the originators that would made the WNBA great. I mean, it might have slacked off a little bit, about for some reason 10 years ago. For what reason, I have no idea. But Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Sabrina, which is a second-year player, by the way. She's not exactly new, but she's not exactly a vet. They're making this game what it is, and I think I see a bright future now with more from the women's game coming in. I mean, it's been a hot ticket all year. Caitlin has really stored the league up to new heights, which we haven't seen in a long time, because for a while the WNBA was going to be on its last legs. But you got these fresh, talented players, and they're really causing a buzz all over the country. I even enjoy watching the WNBA games myself, especially when the Liberty are playing, because that's where I'm from. And whenever Caitlin plays, I try to watch as possible. And they've made new fans that weren't really following the women's game at all. So this group of players has really cropped up beyond, I think, anybody's expectations. In women's sports and sports in general.
Yeah.
And it might continue to thrive. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, Lou. Clubber D, if you don't mind me, bro, what you thinking? What's the temperature in the room for you when it's coming to the ladies basketball?
Yeah, I agree with Lewis said. I mean, right now they need to strike while it's hot, because everybody's tuning in. Yes, it's for Caitlin Clark, but some people are tuning in for the other young ladies. Like Angel Reese, got Asia Wilson finally getting her props as being one of the best players on the planet. And I feel like now that all the eyes are on them, and the people that are playing extra hard against Caitlin Clark, they're showcasing their talents as well. So I'm kind of a little wondering why they left her off the Olympics, because you got to keep that momentum going. But I think right now this is the perfect time for the WNBA. And we used to have a joke saying, would you rather watch this than the WNBA, like bull riding or something like that? But now, I'll tune into a game, so I'm all in.
Respectfully, hey, me too, bro. Me too, Mike.
So first of all, Angel Reese, Baltimore in the building. Asia Wilson, best player in the league, sharing the name with my oldest kid, so that's awesome too.
There you go.
But when I look at the WNBA, I just see the talent was always there. It was just letting everybody know who that talent was. So, going back to what Lewis was saying, we knew Rebecca Lobo, Lisa Leslie, so on and so forth. But then there came a point where it just kind of stalled. But looking at the league today, you got the Connecticut Sun, right on the Liberty's heels, Dejanay Carrington, rookie that I'm looking forward to see once she gets a little more time. Nika Mule out in Seattle, she has some visa issues coming into the season. So what I like about the WNBA at this point is it gives me that old school basketball vibe of, you're going to earn your buckets. You're not going to come in here and just get your pretty finger roll off. You're going to get an elbow to the chest. And I'm not advocating violence or anything like that. But I would like to see that players care about stopping the opponent. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting from the WNBA. And I know that we've been talking about Caitlin getting beat up and picked on and all this kind of stuff. I've seen vets like Kelsey Plum on the ground, holding her face. So anybody can get it. And that's what I like. And that's what I miss about the NBA.
Amen. Hey, that's a good point. I don't know who I was listening to this morning, but they were talking about how, when Candace Parker was a rookie and the Detroit Shock.
Yeah, that was a brawl.
I had to go look at the highlights. I think that was a little bit before I started watching it, but yeah, man, it was MMA.
I think Ford tore her ACL that brawl. Carl Malone's daughter, she tore her ACL during that fight.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Right.
really? Karl Malone's daughter?
Yep. Cheryl Ford.
Oh,
Did not know that, bro. That's a
Mhm.
good tidbit. But it just goes to show that the level of physicality and competition has been there. I think the casuals, they coming into it and they kind of overhype every little thing. But I feel like the hype is kind of dying down now. People are kind of accepting that the WNBA does have a level of competition to it. We spoke. Yeah, I know. I think all you gentlemen mentioned the name Caitlin Clark, who is who is pretty much for the worse or the better, she's their franchise player, for the whole league. So, I mean, just thoughts on Miss Clark before we get into the other ladies. What do you all think, gentlemen? Legit? You think she's legit? A little bit of a hype job, or in between? What you say, Lou?
no, I think that she's the real deal. Okay, sorry for Vander Holyfield fans, but she is the real deal. She has made this league what it is today, and she continues to thrive in this league despite the controversy of what some of the um, other leagues in the league say. But she is all the hype, she's worth it, and I think she's getting a bad rap. Some of the other players in the league are getting a little bit jealous of her for whatever reason. I don't think that's right. She is who she is. That's how she got to this level. She's a great basketball player, and she does a lot of scoring rebounds. But the one thing that concerns me is she has to watch those turnovers
I was just
Yeah,
about to say
because
that.
she has to put a lot of that in the league too. So that's her flaw right there. She has to work on that.
yeah, I agree. I think and I'll speak to that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, Club, I'm gonna go with Mike this time and
Oh
let you.
yeah.
Yeah, so for me, Caitlin is the truth as a player, but my problem is sort of the reverse of what Lou was saying. I don't think that they're treating her any differently than they treat other rookies like it's a little exaggerated. They don't treat her the way that they treat other rookies because there's just more cameras. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about it more. They're not doing anything any differently than they do to anybody else. As far as the turnovers go, she does have that problem, but I've seen her teammates, with the butterfingers and do a lot of Stephon Diggs against the Chiefs out there too. You know what I mean? But as far as Caitlin herself, she is a star. But the problem with Caitlin that I have is I see more JJ Redick, and I mean that as far as her attitude. Like she's constantly complaining, whining in the referees' faces, but she's been deemed the media sweetheart.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so it's hard to analyze her, because if you criticize her, everybody thinks that you're hating or
Right.
you're taking it to a
Right.
different level. If you give her
Yeah.
credit, then everybody just thinks that you're a fanboy trying to so like I think the league needs to settle in on, like, Angel has spoke about how she's willing to be the villain, and I'm like, hey, let it all play out. Caitlin in the end may be the villain.
Hey, that's a great point, and it's still too
Find
early
nice
to tell. It's still too early. But go ahead, Clubber D. What you think, big bro?
Well, I mean, I know people were complaining about she's getting a silver spoon and things of that nature, but with her bringing those ratings, she's the reason why there is a silver spoon. So you can't complain too much, but she shouldn't, get a pass. You got to rough her up. But I equated to when Angel Reese says she wants to be the villain. It's kind of like the NBA. The NBA, no one cared about it until Bird and Magic got up in there because it was like on tape delay. So the WNBA, like I said earlier, they can use this as a way to kind of, hey, we got our hoop right here from Middle of America, and then we got a person from Baltimore, playing in Chicago. We got the good and the bad. Use that to your advantage. So,
Okay.
I don't think she's getting treated bad, but it is what it is. All rookies get the same treatment, just like you said. Like Mike said, all the cameras are on her. So, is what it is.
That's maybe the problem.
That's a great point, fellas. I think quiet is kept. Sorry, I think was it you, Mike, that brought up the Larry and Bird, or D? Did you
Oh
bring
no,
up?
that was Clever that brought that up. Yeah.
I think that quiet is kept. People didn't realize. I don't know if we would have even said it, but Larry Bird was the villain back in the day. Everybody loved Magic Johnson and his smile.
He talked a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and Bird did.
And Bird was essentially the one, that was the villain, and everybody kind of, learned to love Boston. I think I was, I didn't get the privilege of living through those days, but
that's before my time.
You're lucky.
They're lucky. Well, yeah, you was reporting on sports back in those days. What was it like in that Bird and Magic? Because now we got this modern day version, and we get to enjoy it from day one. What was it
Yeah,
like when Bird and Magic came into the NBA?
yeah. I mean, because before that, the NBA, I was virtually not even on the radar. But
Mhm.
they took it to new heights, and from the college days, and they fall into the NBA. And you want to talk about a rivalry? Yeah, that was a rivalry. I mean, they were like ready to can I say they want to piss on each other? Because I think that's pretty much what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about the old school sports, man. They actually hated each other. It wasn't
Yep.
about money and commercials. It was like, hey, I came out here to kill you. I know you came out here to kill unalive. Excuse me, YouTube, unalive.
Unalive, yeah.
They be on it. You got a community strike, like for what?
Oh, what? Really?
Man,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Not on here on Twitter because I was going live and Twitter hit me with they ain't do nothing to my account, just a warning. But I'm just like, you
Oh,
can't.
Lord.
You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta shred carefully. You know what I mean? So.
Mm.
Yes.
But that's a beautiful thing. So I mean, now we can get into the modern day Bird and Magic, if you will, because as you can see, Chicago runs deep in my veins. I've actually been supporting the Chicago Sky since I can't exactly remember when the franchise started, but I know when we got Ella Della
2008.
Donna, yeah,
Yeah.
Ellie. That's when I was watching them very high. I
From
think that was back
Delaware.
Yeah,
in like
sure.
2011-ish, I believe she
Mhm.
came into the league. But I used to love her. Then, of course, one of my favorite players, Candace Parker, bought us the championship in 2021. Nobody cared. I was at the parade.
Remember that though. I remember that.
You and 12 others.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I don't know if you can see me in the camera, but I'm like, hey, y'all, look, that's Candace Parker. Everybody rushing to work. Excuse me.
but this is my question though. I have a question though. So like Magic and Bird, they had the benefit of playing in college, playing for the national title. They came to the league that next year. It took off, and then you had Jordan come through a few years later. And you
Yes.
still had your Isaiah Thomases around and people like that. So as far as the WNBA goes, this is where we are with Angel and Caitlin. But do you feel that women's college basketball is doing enough to set us up
Oh, yeah.
for the
Juju.
next wave?
Juju.
Sure.
Well, Juju
Juju.
still got 2 years,
South Car-
another 2 years.
I think the way the NIL and the way college basketball was, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she's really big into college basketball. And I told her, I said, for me, women's college wasn't really until maybe Sweet 16, Elite 8. Now you're seeing tough matchups in the first bracket, in the first two brackets, and you got teams like Virginia Tech, Marquette, and other teams that are actually pretty good. Maryland, instead of the usual UConns, Tennessee, South Carolina, Stanford's, you got these other schools that are popping up, like Iowa, Iowa State with Caitlin. So I think the talent's starting to spread out more. So I think it's starting to get there in women's college. It was way better than the men's this year to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes, it was.
What do you say to that, Lou?
I do. I mean, because the women overtook the men this year with the coverage and the ratings and whatnot. So Caitlin and the rest made a statement for women's college basketball this year. Of course, the men's college had one bright side. They had Zach Edey, however you pronounce his name, and well, I don't know how he's gonna turn out. I mean, he was good, but I don't know how he's gonna transfer over to the NBA. Well, I guess I'll find out when the draft happens, and then when he's got to play maybe like the summer league and see how he makes out with that. It's a little bit too soon to tell. The jury is still debating.
If I can speak on it, and that's a good question, Mike. I think women's college basketball figured it out long before the WNBA still figuring it out, but they figured out how to market these young ladies because we knew about. I'm gonna just speak to my era. I knew about Maya Moore before she got to the WNBA. I knew about Skylar Diggins before she got to the NBA. Candace Parker. So by the time they got to the WNBA, it was easy for me to transition into being a fan of the WNBA because I'm following this young lady, much like the young generation is doing now with Angel and Caitlin. So I think we are good. I think that Juju Watkins could potentially be the Jordan. We get a couple years of this Angel and Caitlin back and forth, and all of a sudden. But I think the sleeper, we might get a Bird and Magic rivalry with Paige Backers.
Yeah, that's who I was going to bring up. Yeah,
Paige Backers, yes.
A lot of people don't say her name, and
that's who I was going to bring up. That's who I had in mind.
Great player.
Good.
Yeah,
because Juju, because the women have to stay in college for 3 years, so Juju's still another 2 years out, whereas Paige is going to be popping up on the scene next year.
That's true.
Yeah. And early hot take. I think talking to Now one of my homies, he's in Washington, but I say Paige gonna go over there with Mule in Washington. Her, Alyssa Edwards, and I think they're gonna get the little UConn back together, little UConn family back together. But it's just wishful thinking.
Yeah,
Go Paige.
yeah.
But real quick, fellas, we can speak because I think that Angel Reese, and I know I'm gonna sound really biased. She's one of my athletes, so I talk a little bit higher than I do. But I think she definitely inserted her name into the Rookie of the Year race. I think it was more so, Caitlin's award to lose up into this recent game yesterday that they had, or the day before yesterday. But Angel Reese with a big 23-16. I mean, that's pretty much a 30 and 15 game in
Stats don't lie. Stats
40
don't
and
lie.
15 in the NBA. So do y'all think that Angel Reese, and I'll start with you, Mike, this time and swing around. Do you think that Angel Reese has put her name, and especially you be more, she one of yours as well, one of your own.
Yeah. See, I don't want to do the be more thing, but I think she's the leader right now.
Yeah.
I know that comes across as biased and all that. I'm really not. I just think that Caitlin has been very up and down. Like the best part of the rookie class so far consistently has been Angel's rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know we care about scoring. That's what we focus on. So that's why Caitlin gets a lot of the credit. But Rakia Jackson's been playing well as well.
Very much.
She just doesn't score enough probably to be in this conversation right now.
Right.
But if we were handing out the award today, I would give it to Angel. The thing that I am partial to Caitlin on is that her team is just terrible.
Yeah.
So that's not her fault. Like I said, they drop a lot of her dimes, give her a lot of those turnovers that we're talking about. So I think Caitlin will end up winning it. But if it was today, I would say Angel's the Rookie of the Year.
I like that. I respect that.
Probably, yes.
What you say, D?
I agree, because you got to look at it like this. Caitlin, personally, I think she should be a shooting guard, not the point guard. But if you look at it like this, Angel's putting up the numbers. She's playing at a higher level. I think Caitlin is flashier, but we got to talk about those turnovers. She might set the record for turnovers in the WNBA, and it's like RG3, his rookie year. He had a great rookie year, but if he led the league in interceptions, and Andrew Luck had similar year, but then lead the league in interceptions, would you give it to RG3 because he's flashier, or would you give it to Andrew Luck who had just as good or better, stats? So I give it to Angel.
I like that. What you say, Lewis?
I think I have to give the Angel too. I mean, it'll be a close race between Caitlin and Angel, but I think Angel's got a slight advantage for Rookie of the Year. Of course, we still got more than half a season to go, so I mean, things can change. But right now, I think Angel has the slight upper hand.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the one thing that gives Angel an edge is her defensive prowess, man. I think it's a little bit unspoken of, and we all, gentlemen, I think we all come from the school of defense wins championships.
Yes.
I think, and I was talking to my buddy about this. I haven't gone public, as far as this take goes, but I wouldn't be surprised to see, whether it's with my Chicago Sky or wherever Angel decides to play her career out. I wouldn't be surprised to see Angel get a ring before Caitlin Clark, just because she reminds me a lot of when Angel Reese first came. I mean, Asia Wilson first came into the league, just being raw, couple little, offensive moves, mostly just being under a basket kind of player. But now we see Asia, she step out and hit you with that mid range from the 18 feet or even a 3-pointer from time to time. But I believe that Angel Reese is definitely the leading candidate. But I'm gonna say this, man, Caitlin Clark, she is a point guard. She's a point guard. Like, they ain't scoring with her. She throws court on the dime. I mean, she threw one to that young lady that was going back and forth with Angel Reese. I can't think of her name.
Melissa.
Was it Boston? Not Boston, was it?
No, it wasn't Boston. I think it was Melissa Johnson.
Okay, yeah.
The one that was going back and forth with Angel throughout
the one with the hair.
Yeah. I want to say, I know. Thanks for saying that, Mike. I know her first name is Nelissa. She got a pretty first name.
Yeah, okay, I don't know what it is.
But she threw a pass to her, man. I'm talking about, and it just went right, fundamentals, and it just went right through the young lady's hands. And it was that pass that really.
Well, see, she's that next evolution that we're talking about. Like the NBA, the players, I'm sure, had to adjust to Magic, or in the NFL, you had to adjust to the speed that Brett Favre put on the ball. So I think they're having to adjust to what Caitlin's doing.
Yeah, she might be their first combo guard. I don't think it's been a legitimate combo guard yet in the WNBA. We kind of got used to them in the NBA, of course. Everybody's a combo guard now, but
right,
yeah, Caitlin, man, she was throwing some dimes. So, thanks, y'all. Gentlemen, we didn't put that one on the docket, but that's some good content right there, buddy.
All right,
that up. That's good talk, fellas. We can move into the men's side of the ball. The Boston Celtics just recently won Banner 18. Taking that lead over the Lakers. I've been seeing Laker Nation talking crazy. Lakers, man, they ain't gonna let nobody else enjoy their championship.
Man, just be greedy.
Yeah.
I forgot you're a Lakers man. Clever D, man, big bro.
Oh no, I'm not a Lakers fan. No.
Who's your basketball team? I know you got.
I'm Phoenix Suns. It's purple, but I'm Phoenix.
That's right. That's
right. No.
Yeah, I know.
I just seen that purple, big bro. I'm sorry. Respect.
I'm on Phoenix. Trust me. We ain't never won, so I'm just a spectator. So we like to pay a lot of money to players that ain't going to do nothing. So that's what it is.
Well, I mean, we can speak a little bit too with that debacle going on out there. But how you feeling about Banner 18 for Mr. Tatum and Brown and the legendary Celtics organization?
I like it because it's not like a fluke. I mean, yes, Halliburton and others were hurt, Jimmy Butler were hurt, but I mean, you can't control that, and you can only win. You only can play who's in front of you. So I'm not going to fault them for that. And if you look at their season this year, statistically, they were the best team in the league, hands down. So I'm happy with them winning. I'm glad. They remind me of, I think you posted this, Tony. They remind me of my 49ers that are always there, but just couldn't win. So I think they won and they deserve it. I just wish Tatum would stop trying to be like everybody else and just enjoy the moment. Take it in for yourself. Stop trying to be 8 different people. Just be Jason Tatum.
He got every iconic moment out. I'm gonna do the Kobe pose.
Oh,
that
come on, man.
Just channel my inner KG.
What they gonna say now?
What they gonna say? They even sound right coming out of his mouth, like, bro.
Hey, it just sound. I was saying to one of my buddies, it just sound very rehearsed. You can tell.
You woke up Braxton from Jamie Foxx. You're like Braxton from Jamie Foxx. Like, you set tripping? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh man. If you don't mind, Lewis, you speak to Banner 18.
You wouldn't want me to throw up right now. Ugh. I had the number one Celtics basher, probably in this part of the country, maybe even of the whole country. Yes, I'll get credit where credit is due, but it just made me so sick to see how they just destroyed, how they just took over this whole series, except for Game 4. But then again, I kind of expected it because there was no way the Mavericks were going to match up against the Celtics, even with Porzingis out for much of the playoffs. But the Celtics have been just too dominant all year on offense, and Dallas just couldn't quite measure up. Yeah. So I knew this series was going to be over early. At least I thought it would be a sweep, actually. But for some reason, the Mavericks just took control of Game 4. Good for them. But you pretty much knew from how the Celtics just dominated Game 5 early on that it was just too much for the Mavericks to bear. And the Celtics come away with a championship. Just made me so sick to think about when it was over. I just wanted to go throw up when the game was over.
I'm sorry, Lou. I forgot you a Knicks man, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know as Knicks fans hate the Celtics.
Yeah, and I feel really bad because usually, the Celtics go on a run and y'all ain't got nothing to talk about or cheer for, but y'all actually had a team to root for, and but yeah, man, that's how it goes.
Exactly.
You see your enemies, basking in glory. Mike,
our worst enemies.
All right, so I'm with you, Lewis. You know what I'm saying? F Boston as a staff record label and as a crew, as one wise man once said.
Right.
But yeah, they won the East by 14 games during the regular season. So nobody should be surprised that this was the outcome. I would have liked to see them match up with Denver. But, it is what it is. You got to give them credit. Hats off. The only people that were picking Dallas to win that series were thinking they were going to get Kyrie from 2016.
Yeah.
There was no reason to pick Dallas to win that series, but I do, even though I hate Boston, I do want to take a second because I do respect the hell out of Jaylen Brown. You know, him and Dirk White are
Yeah.
the kind of guys that you look at sports and they didn't come into the league expected to accomplish these type of things, but they show through hard work and development that you can get to this level, you know. But Boston won that championship the day they got Drew Holiday.
Amen to that,
That's
bro.
a fact.
Hey,
That's a fact.
that's a great point, bro. Because I said that's probably the most underrated move in Boston Celtics history. I mean, you're picking up a perimeter defender who happened to hit a couple big shots. I think he put a 28, 26 to 28 one game, 29.
He was grabbing all the boards.
Yes, bro. That was offensive boards too, not the defensive ones.
He put the clamps on Booker when we played them in the finals. After game, we were up 2 games, and he put the clamps on Booker and shut that down. So
yeah.
Need somebody like him.
Who's your basketball team again, Mike? I'm sorry,
why you gotta do this to me? Make me admit. I don't like talking about it in public, but I'm a Washington Wizards fan.
Oh no!
Hey, could be worse. Could be worse. It could be the Pistons. Oh,
okay. Hey, it's about the same, right? Because Boston won more games in this playoff run than the Pistons and the Wizards won all regular season.
Yeah,
that's true.
Take it back to the HTS commercials. That's the reason I'm a Bullets fan. We don't talk about Mike.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Chris Webber.
I miss my Bullets. I miss him.
Mike did say before the show that he never met a White Sox fan and ended up meeting 2 in 1 minute.
Yeah, there you go.
A Wizards fan for the first time in my life.
You know what I'm saying? There you go. We make history up here.
Facts. I like that, gentlemen. And shout out to the Boston Celtics. You know, me as a Bulls fan, I don't really like to see. They're one of our rivalries as well, rivalry teams. But I have been supporting the Jays for a couple, since they got into the league. Like you said, I think did you say Jay? Excuse me, Mike. You said you have a big respect for Jaylen Brown. Me too. Since the day that young man got into the league, I could tell he's one of them hardworking types. I love the guys like Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, who come into the league, prospected as one thing, and then they turn themselves into what they want to be. So, Jason Tatum, man, he still. I think he's just a little brother in that dynamic. You can tell he just really basking. He just really doing all the commercials he can do, all the interviews he can do. He really having his moment. But I think if they can keep this core intact somehow, some way, find a way to keep Drew, maybe even KP. Because Kristaps only played about 15 minutes. He averaged 15 minutes in the finals, and he was effective. So if they can keep this core together, I can see them probably doing a back-to-back thing, and maybe Jason Tatum can have his moment next season. But good stuff, fellas. How about, speaking of, on the other side of the ball, as far as the finals goes, I put a question out, and they got a lot of traction on the socials. But do y'all think that Luka can get a? Excuse me. I know Luka's skill set right now doesn't say he's going to win the finals, but do y'all think he can make some adjustments to his game and get back to the finals? Is how I wanted to frame the question. Let's start with Clubber D. Let's start with you this time, big bro.
Sure, yeah. I totally forgot. Let me shout out Omar Fonseca, sports professor. He's diehard Celtics fan. Him and his dad were there game 1 for the game courtside right next to the Celtics. I thought he was going to go in the game, how close he was. But yeah. He's the inventor of ball and bud, so I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. But
like that.
When Luka, my issue with like everyone else, Luka plays no D. He has to have the ball to produce, and he's a beast when he has the ball. Don't get me wrong, but if you surround him with spot up shooters, that might help him out a lot. But I don't know if he's gonna get back to the finals. To be honest with you, I think the West is gonna rebuild. Next year will probably be his best bet too, but I don't see it in the future. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it'd be scary. Yeah, next year the West is gonna be loaded. You're talking about Jock coming back, Wemby taking another step forward. So what you say? Let's go with you, Mike, this time around, big bro. Get your take in.
So first person shooter J. Cole. I look at Drake and see the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah,
that's Luka and Houston James Harden.
Yes,
I don't know how sustainable that is long term. But so the problem that I have and what confuses me is last time I checked, Jason Kidd is the head coach of the Mavs. One of the best point guards in NBA history. One of the guys that wasn't known for scoring but setting up offenses. So how is it that this is the Mavs offense? That's what I was wondering throughout the whole finals. And so going forward, I think Luka is talented enough to get to a finals. I think Luka is talented enough to get to a finals. I wonder if Luka's going to get to that point of people aren't going to want to play with him.
Mhm.
Because when you look at the stat sheet, you'll see he has 9 assists, you'll see he has 10 assists, but nothing really stands out. It's like a whole bunch of dribbling. It almost reminds me of LeBron back in Cleveland the first time. Like a lot of dribbling, and I'm gonna kick it out to the corner with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and you got to make a decision to shoot it. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if that's sustainable, because OKC, like you said, they're coming. They got Caruso now. They're building. Minnesota, once they figure out what they want to do with Cat, they already got, they were just young this year. Denver's still there, and they still got that, they still got Jokic. So, yeah, so I don't know. It's going to be tough sledding, but he has the talent to do it.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good. Made some great points on there. I speak to him. Go ahead, Lou. What you think? Can Mr. Doncic get back to the promised land?
He can get by the promised land. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but he does have the talent. And this goes. I mean, the defense though, he is a bit lackluster on that. He has to work on that. Like I said, next year could be his best year, but a better year. I do think he has the talent to get back to the finals. Maybe not with the Mavericks. I mean, maybe they can trade him for somewhere, but I do think within a few years that he will be able to get back to the finals. He is a great player. I mean, he is the next phase of the NBA as far as I'm concerned. So I do think that, yes, he will get back to the finals at some point. And hopefully this time he'll get one. Because you ran up against a buzzsaw with the Celtics. And, if you're into things like you're in for a lot of trouble, that'd be a bumpy road to get there. So, hey, maybe they'll trade the Celtics and maybe they'll win a title that way. Yeah, perish the thought, though.
That's a great point. If I could mix a little cocktail of Lewis and Mike's takes, I don't think that what Luka does is sustainable, but I do think if Luka go pairs up with another superstar, let's just say it happens to be Joker, he has individual talent that can help another superstar. Now everybody expected Kyrie to be that quote unquote Robin, but I think Kyrie is just in a different place. I think young, maybe 2016 Kyrie with this Luka, they would have got the job done. But I think Kyrie just more so in that next phase of his career where whether he win or lose, he's gonna be good in his head. So kudos to him. It takes a lot of maturity to get to that point as an athlete. But man, Kyrie looked like a deer in headlights in Boston. And Dallas, he looked decent. I just don't know where he was.
That was bad.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens. But I remember, I don't know if I read an article or something, but the Dallas, they got their cap space, and the whole team that they got, they could reload and come back tomorrow with the same squad. So, they had enough to get past everybody's favorite team, that they thought was going to get there, so. But moving right along, moving on to the next one, because this is one I've been wanting to cook on. The JJ Redick and Los Angeles Lakers have made the unholy matrimony is finally official. I think everybody on this panel, we seen this coming, 2-3 years ago, in the capping. But since that podcast, for sure, the writing seemed to be on the wall. I'll go to you first, Lou. What do you think about? Let me say this. I think I sent the question. Do you think this experiment, the JJ experiment, is going to be successful? Can be successful?
Not a chance. This is going to be a match made in hell if I ever saw one. Oh, forget it. I mean, we what kind of a deal? And we're what this season? Oh, forget this was a mistake. Oh, I can see it now. By Christmas, there'll be 6 and 27. I mean, they'll almost be as fast as the Pistons.
Oh, come on, Lou.
They'll almost be as fast as the Pistons. Oh. This is gonna be a nightmare season for the Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan, but oh boy, this is gonna be murder.
Yeah.
No experience whatsoever in coaching or whatever. I mean, he's not the guy they're looking for. Not at all.
Well, they say he's the next Pat Riley. Lou, you don't agree with that?
Really? The next Pat Riley?
They're watching Winning Time. That's
you want to be another Pat McAfee? Forget about even Pat Riley.
He's doing Winning Time.
That is beautiful. Yeah, I thought that was a little extreme as far as that. Maybe the next Luke Walton. Maybe the next
Oh,
one.
get Karl Malone and Gary Payton back. Let's get them on the squad too.
What you got for him, Mike?
So, we talked about this a little backstage,
Mhm.
and I think y'all are looking at it just a little bit wrong. I don't necessarily disagree that it'll probably blow up in their face, but I think it's not the reasons that you all are saying. I think the problem is the Lakers are not going to be successful until Rob Pelinka is gone.
Mm.
So I think that's first and foremost. Because we saw them build a title team in the bubble, and then they got rid of everybody, and then they never tried to rebuild that same type of structure. They haven't had a shooter in God knows how long.
Mhm.
So what I do like about JJ Redick is they're going to that blast from the past. Pat Riley, he was watching the game as a commentator before he became the head coach. So even though he didn't have coaching experience, JJ's been watching the NBA unfold. He's been watching plays, he's been watching the players to see what is working and what isn't, because it's his job to report on it.
Mhm.
Especially as we're watching it in real time. So from a coaching standpoint, I think he'll be all right. And then if anything else, LeBron's going to be the coach at least for this year anyway.
Mhm.
So if I was JJ, I know it sounds crazy to say, but I might have just went to Detroit or tried to see what was up with Cleveland.
Yeah.
A place where I can actually coach, build a foundation, because watching the Lakers this year and potentially even next year, I'm not sure if we're watching his vision or not.
That's a good point. And I remember Udonis Haslett said something on those lines where, people, the locker room is going to be questioning: is this coach's call or is this Bron's call?
Yep.
That can make for some chemistry issues. But what you got for us, Clubber D?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like what you're saying. I mean, we don't know how the locker room is going to react. When he yells at everybody, are they going to look at him or are they going to look at LeBron? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those deals. And also, is it Steve Nash 2.0 or is this going to be something different? Taking somebody with no experience to coach, to be their coach, and we know the elephant in the room. LeBron is the one who wanted him to be the coach.
Right.
So if you have a disagreement, or say if you wish we want to change your play around, are the players going to want to say something because they know, do they go to LeBron or do they go to JJ Redick? So I think it's going to cause the whole team is just LeBron and a bunch of yes men, unfortunately. And I just don't see them winning. You say Christmas, Lou. I say maybe Thanksgiving. They get some rumblings. You never know. It might be a little.
Well, that was
It
just
might be
to
the
be
White
kind.
Sox,
You might be right.
the NBA.
Hey,
Let's just put it this way: the Lakers have 2 strikes on them. They got Red coming in as coaching, and you got Pelinka as an owner. So you got 2 strikes right there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, don't forget young Bronny James.
If
Ah,
the Suns draft him, I swear to God, they better not. They were. Let me stop.
I want to be respectful as I can, because I like Bronny James, the kid. I've been watching him, grow up on social media. I think we all kind of caught clips of him. He's a good kid. He's not like his dad at all. He's not going around bragging, talking. You would think a little guy like that who's had a silver spoon and been around NBA players his entire life would be a bit of a brat, But I mean, I'm just going off his social medias, that the clips I've seen. He seems like a very humble. He knows what he is. He's not going around talking about I'm a number 1 pick. He's like, no, I think I could be he compared himself to 2 role players. When he did that, I was like, oh, I could support this.
He's very respectful. The whole family, I love their dynamic.
Yeah. Savannah, if I ain't had my wife, I'd be in Savannah. Nah,
I'd sim. I ain't married. I'll sim for her.
Amen.
I'll take her to Red Lobster. Get some biscuits on me.
LeBron don't got a couple road games, huh?
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him at the combine. He was comparing himself to Davion Mitchell in Sacramento.
Yeah,
and that's a great comparison. So I said something similar on Sports Reports is Ordered last night. Whereas obviously, if you draft him or bring him in, you don't think you're getting LeBron, but maybe you're getting LeBron's work ethic. You know what I mean? Maybe you're getting LeBron's determination. Maybe you're getting LeBron, and he's humble. So that could be good for your locker room. Now, I don't know about Phoenix, because saying the only thing that can save Phoenix's locker room is Phil Jackson or something like that. You know what I mean? But if you're a team like, say, I was trying to think of teams that could bring him in, and I was thinking of, why couldn't he work in Minnesota learning from Mike Conley?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why couldn't he work if Atlanta's going to trade Trae Young? Why couldn't he work there, working with DeJounte Murray? So I think there are places for him. The problem is you can't coach him. Like if he's not playing well, you can't send him to the G League.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't bench him. Like if he's getting 15 minutes a game, you can't chop it in half.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where the problem comes in.
That's a very good point too. I mean, if it doesn't work out, what do you do with him? You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be the guy that benches LeBron James' son. I mean, if he
But
earned
hey,
it,
he had that 41-inch vert. So I mean, he got something going on.
Hey, Shannon Brown can make it in the league. He can make it in the league.
There you go.
and that's another thing. Not everybody coming into the league, scoring 30 or anything like. You can be a very serviceable role player. That like a Lou Dort. Lou Dort, he scored like 6 points a game, but he out there playing good defense, and so
yeah. If you can get Bronny to be Avery Bradley, that's a win.
There you go. That's real good comparison.
I wouldn't mind that as well. Speaking of the draft, gentlemen, have y'all been? I mean, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna throw this out there. It's been very quiet. This is probably the quietest NBA draft I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I had to go actually Google who these kids was and look up some YouTube tapes just to get prepared for the show. But my God, have y'all been keeping up with the NBA draft? You know any of these kids in the draft? I'll start with you again, Mike. Back to you.
All right, so yeah, like so looking at the top of the draft, first two picks are probably going to be some combination of the Frenchmen, Sar and Versace. But I think Donovan Clingan can make his way to Atlanta. 7'2", defensive anchor. Obviously, he doesn't have the offensive game of a Wembanyama, but Atlanta's probably going to go into rebuild mode anyway. So where it gets interesting for me is what does Houston do at number 3, because they don't need another young player.
Right.
And they've been in reports for Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler. Houston has enough dudes as it is that they're trying to find time for, that they're trying to find development for. So if you could get rid of that pick, why not? But there are good players in this draft. Rob Dillingham's a little small, but he's an offensive dynamo. He could be that. I don't want to call him Kyrie, but he could be that little kind of guy that finishes around the basket and just scores 19 a game and you don't even notice it. You have Cody Williams, Jalen Williams' little brother. I like him a lot. 41% 3-point shooter in college. Devin Carter from Providence, Big East Player of the Year. I like him a lot. And if Memphis gets him and puts him next to Ja, I really like that.
That's a good point, right? That's a very good point. If I could just throw this in there, what I've taken from this draft, there's a lot of kids in this draft that could be great pieces on a team right now. If I could just sing the praises of Mr. Alex Starr, man, you put him with Memphis, OKC, because he's just a defensive, athletic dude. That's kind of what they need, next to a Chet who can shoot. But I just want to say it's a lot of dudes in this draft, including Bronny, who could come into the league and ain't no superstars, I wouldn't say on the paper, but definitely be serviceable. But what you say, Club?
Well, I mean, this draft is wild because it's literally a lot of the hype of this draft is somebody that might not even get drafted unless LeBron James' son. And I was listening to the radio today and listening to Junkies. You probably know who they are, Mike, Sports Junkies, and they were talking about the Wizards and them possibly getting Czar. And he didn't want to work out for the Hawks, I believe. So he's trying for them to move down. And they were just like, we get him, cool, but we really don't know what to do at that number 2 because it's the talent level. It's there, but like you said, you got Rob Dillingham. And where is he? Is he a top 10 or is Rob Dillingham going to slide down? I mean, where would you put him at? Somebody come off the bench and be a spark for you, which I think he could do. But this is one of those drafts. Like I don't know, it's the DeJuan Wagner draft or Fultz, or I'm trying to think of the number ones when we were like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like who came from that draft? Maybe somebody in the second round, but this might be one of the drafts where you're just looking to see if Bronny gets drafted. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Lou, you got any?
This does look to be a weak draft for the most part. I mean, last year everything was on the focus on Wembanyama, which really didn't do much. I mean, okay, decent numbers for a freshman, but far from the hype that he had. I don't really see much having this draft. They're all concentrating on LeBron's boy to see what he's going to do. he's there is a rumor he might get drafted in the lower round to the first round, but I don't see him going there. I think we'll see him going in the second round. It's really going to depend on where he goes. But other than that, this looks like to be like one of the weakest drafts I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Probably since
I
like
think-
last decade or so. I
I
don't see
think
anybody really from
oh,
this.
my bad.
Or then maybe, of course, with Zach to see where he goes because he was the top
Mhm.
college player in the men's
Yeah.
Right.
bracket this year. So looking to see where he's going to end up. Maybe become our way. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
There's a couple of dudes that I have my eye on that I think could be,
Yes.
like I look at Ron Holland, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with him is that he's either Vince Carter or he's Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
There's no in between, no in between. And he played for G League Ignite this year. They went 2-32, and they had
Like the
Buzelis.
Mystics.
Yeah,
Oh,
they have Buzelis on their team, who's projected to be top 5 to top 7. Both of them on that team, they go 2-32. So that makes me question. You know what I mean? But then I look at somebody like, say, Reed Shepard. Could shoot the lights out,
Yeah.
but he's 6'1". You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I look at there's another dude that I just had on the tip of my tongue that I can't think of right now. I like Kai Simpson from Colorado.
Yeah.
But he's a little dude. So
Yeah.
there's guys in this draft that I think look the part or could be the part, but there's just as big a criticism of them as there is something to give credit for.
Yeah, that's a
I can
great
dig it.
point. I was looking at that young man. I want to say his first name Stephon Castle.
Yes, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, he could be SGA if it ever comes together.
And during their championship run, last year with UConn, he was a big factor. Freshman, coming in hitting big shots with a lot of pressure. Purdue was a formidable team last year, and he a freshman, he dicing them and slicing them. So that's a great point, bro. I think a lot of, like I said, the mainstream media, if you ain't shooting 100 threes or you ain't jumping over everybody, they ain't gonna really waste their time giving you press, which is unfortunate.
not at all.
And which I think is going to be crazy if these kids come out of this draft and this be one of the greatest drafts of all time. I'm coming straight for these media dudes, man. That's part of my parameter. It's like, y'all didn't tell nobody about nobody. I mean, I kind of knew about Zach Edey, but I had to research everybody else. Shout out to my brother, Real Goons B. Swing by his platform. Make sure you drop a sub. Goons be making content, doing his thing as well. Always here to show love. Salute to the panel.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. Goons. I gotta hit his line. All right, folks, we're gonna move on.
I had one quick thing, Tony. My bad. One quick thing. Is this gonna be the first year that the women's college tournament surpassed the men's tournament? More people tune into that, and will this be the first year that the women's draft be more exciting than the men's draft?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Stars.
Well, last year the women outdrew the men as well.
Oh wow!
During UConn's first title, that was.
No, I mean like the women's draft. The women's draft.
The draft you're talking about.
Like the draft, and then now.
I don't know.
Draft.
But see, that goes back to what I was asking earlier.
The stars.
Like, we know Paige Beckers is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Flo J's eligible, but are there enough women that are being presented? Because like with the WNBA, that's kind of the thing, is Caitlin's getting all the attention. We know who these other people are, but a lot of the casuals don't. So in college basketball, I think everybody knows who Paige Beckers is.
Mm-hmm.
We probably know Haley Van Lith. You probably know. But do they know this? Whoever's coming out of UCLA, because I know UCLA's been good the last couple of years. Do they have a player that's on the national radar, or are we not going to know who that is until the tournament comes?
Yeah,
true.
That is a great question. I think, honestly, and I hate to say this, man, the same things we used to be crying about. I'm gonna say we're getting from the women what we've been demanding from the NBA: physicality, competition. Yep. Stop high-fiving everybody, man. Dunk on this. A little crazy. Right. I think that's been the number one issue as far as what's going on. Hot Take Jake.
Oh Lord, have mercy, this guy.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Hot Take Jake is
D?
you just came off.
That thing right.
Yeah, Kate,
What's
you
up,
you
fellas?
working tonight, brother.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, man? You want to do some play? Well, I was gonna say you just came off the Ball and Bloods, Bottom Line Sports. I was watching y'all on the phone while we was doing our thing early. You going to let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, you find us every Tuesday at 7 p.m., usually 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, on the Bottom Line Sports, man. We go crazy out there. We try and give debates about our usual sports of the week. Me, Canteen, Flo, and Omar, man. Loving it. We've been doing it for about a year now. So
Yeah,
catch us there every time. Facebook, YouTube. I know we have it on Instagram for an hour. Stuff like that, man.
Yeah, really, Bottom Line has become one of my second homes, man. I love coming over there and talking crazy to y'all, man. It's always a good time. Always a good time.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the sports professor. We was shouting you out earlier, and your Celtics
All
as
this
well.
show quality. Shit, tell him shut up. Boy.
Hey, King of freezing up, man. I had Omar on the floor a
freeze.
couple times. Get out the Bermuda Triangle, bro.
He's stuck in the 80s. He's stuck in the 80s, man. His reception, he's stuck in the 80s.
Hey, that's good, man. Hey, AOL, as long as AOL's still working. As long as it's still working.
Prodigy.
Well, you can just jump in. Hot take. We was actually wrapping up about this NBA draft. Is there any one of these young men, anybody in this draft? Because it's been very quiet, the coverage about on it. Who's coming out of there outside of LeBron James' son, of course. Anybody, any of these young men that you see going to be decent prospects?
Well, y'all know who I want. I want the Lakers to get Bronny, and I think that's what happens. Let me tell you something, guys. And I just look at Clubber D already hating. Think about this. You just hired JJ Redick. I think this is the smartest thing you can do. Remember, Steve Kerr was a non-experienced head coach, and he became a masterpiece. He knew because of his experience with the NBA. I think right now you need to make a splash. I'm hearing Trae Young. I'm going to go a bit deeper. And I said this just an hour ago. I go to Memphis and I ask him what it's going to take. John Morant's going to die out there in Memphis if nobody grabs him. If I'm the Lakers, I go one up than Trae Young. I go get Ja Morant. I put in Austin Reeves in the trade. I throw my 2027 first round, my 28 first round as well. This is what you have to do because we do not want LeBron hobbling the way they did it to poor Kobe whenever he had 4 years left and couldn't do anything to even get a chance close to a playoff spot.
We don't care about that.
Clever D.
We don't care about that.
Give you a chance to respond. Give you a chance to respond. I think, wait. First and foremost, this is why we call him Hot Take Jake, because Ja Morant.
Look, Tony, Ja Morant's being talked about. I mean, not Ja Morant. They're saying Trae Young. I'm saying go a step further. Did y'all see JJ Redick's interview? He told you what he's gonna do, man, as he was introduced. F all the BS. F it. Fuck it, man. He's ready. This is their time. I'm telling you right now. And I called this out last hour. In 2 years, I think the Lakers make the finals. I think in farewell year with LeBron, they win one more ring.
Tie up Kobe before he calls it quits.
Okay.
No. Oh yeah, he will. He will tie up Kobe. He will have 5.
I think Hot Take Jake just gave us another segment, gentlemen. Anybody want to respond to this?
Yes.
Please, Mike. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Take the mic, big bro. Take the mic.
Hey, if the Lakers called me and asked for Ja Morant, I'm saying where Anthony Davis at. First of all,
Hey.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
2027, 2028. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Especially if the Lakers, you're saying that the Lakers are going to be a contender and they're going to be in the NBA Finals contention. What those picks going to do for me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm giving up the face of my franchise. You know, the dude that is the only reason people even care about the Memphis Grizzlies, period. That would be the dumbest possible move that I can make as a GM. Now, to your Steve Kerr point, Steve Kerr was also a GM. JJ
you
Reddick
for the
was a
Suns.
podcaster.
Thank you. I was going to say that.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. I was going to
There's
say
levels to this. And, you know what I mean? And so when I look at this, I don't know if Trae Young is the answer. He's probably not. I'm probably looking at Donovan Mitchell if we're just going to throw names out there. You know what I mean?
Well,
but,
Trae Young's the one that's been linked as of right
no,
now.
I know. But I'm just saying that's wrong too. That's just LeBron chasing a name. Is all that is.
Mike, can I ask you one
question? What does Trae Young
question?
do for the Lakers?
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying this, Mike. Mike, think about this. What are the Grizzlies going to do for John Morant? The man is practically wasting his time out there.
They were the two.
Send him
last
somewhere
time they
to
were
La
healthy.
La Land, man. Give the guy a chance. And we give you Austin Reeves 2 first-rounders. I'd even give you one of our picks in 3 years as well. I'm telling you, it's a win-now league. This is what you have to do for LeBron. Do you want another chip? The Celtics just took. Now they're leading in the most championships. Are you going to sit there and wither? They're already saying the Celtics are the second best.
Well, basically, you just want LeBron to have a chance. That's all this is about.
Yeah.
Mike,
that's all this is about.
Mike, was it horrific?
Is this the NBA or the NBA LeBron?
Mike, did Kobe hobble his way into the end of his career?
Who told Kobe to do that?
He didn't have a shot, Mike.
He could have left.
Mike, come on, man. We got to be real. You don't want to let go of your greatest talent you've probably ever had in a Laker jersey and literally let him wither away and not get more than 1 ring. He already did everything he could to win probably the toughest ring ever, the bubble championship.
Toughest.
And
I'm
now
good with that. I'm good with what you're saying.
And now
right
you
now.
have to
do Ja Morant.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
What incentivizes Memphis to do that? Like when you make a deal, both sides are supposed to feel happy. Like you're supposed to meet somewhere.
Mike, you got it. Mike, he just finished playing NBA Live. He was doing a trade on NBA Live. He was doing that before he got on here. You know what I'm saying? What the hell are you talking about?
Cap space.
The blasphemy came over here.
Young does nothing but make their defense worse.
Yes.
You know, so even though you may get some form of scoring punch, it doesn't matter because you can't stop nobody now as it is.
Mike, we're just 2 years away removed that this team was in the NBA Conference Finals against the Nuggets. There's only one team that has been stopping them. It's the Nuggets.
We're 2 years away from Memphis being the 2 seed.
But Mike, and what happened to Memphis? They didn't do anything.
They got injured.
And they keep getting worse.
Ja Morant got suspended.
What makes you think Ja Morant's problems won't follow him to Los Angeles? What makes you think his problems won't follow him to Los Angeles?
Because you got a leader of men, as in LeBron James.
Where?
I think Anthony Davis is ready to be the baton passed to him finally. I think you finish it off, guys. Come on, really think about it.
Man, we've been trying to get this dude the baton for like 5 years now. He don't want it.
I am a Spurs fan.
Can I say that Anthony Davis didn't want it in New Orleans? He didn't have nobody to share or be second fiddle to. He had his chance to be a quote unquote franchise guy. If y'all don't mind, gentlemen, I just want to get Clever D's direct response because this is a bottom line sports family manner. I ain't trying to get too much in the family matter. Clever D, go ahead and respond to the hot take. You familiar with his work?
Yeah, I mean Jake's the man. I like Jake, but like Mike kind of said it earlier. Steve Kerr didn't just get the job. He was the Suns GM for a while. Then he became a coach, okay? And he took over Mark Jackson's squad. You can't just get Ja Morant out of nowhere like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to Anthony Edwards for a bag of chips. It don't work like that. And who cares if LeBron wins or doesn't win? There's other teams that want to win, so screw him. And you're not going to get better by just getting somebody. You got to get chemistry and you got to get the role players. If you trade all the role players away, how are you going to win when those guys are on the bench? You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work. So not going to happen, Jake. I'm sorry. Stop playing live, 2K, whatever you're playing. I get it. It sounds cool, but no.
And I want to say Clever D knows this firsthand as a Phoenix Suns fan.
Yeah.
And they have just traded everybody away for 3 stars, and it's gotten them nowhere but,
trash.
Trip to Cancun.
Trash.
I don't agree. I completely disagree with this. I mean, my gosh, let me tell you something. JJ Redick has played in the league for 15 years, was on 6 teams. He was under Doc Rivers at one point.
What Steve Nash do? You say Doc Rivers is trash. Don't try to you trash on Doc Rivers. Now you're gonna deride him? Now you're gonna deride him? You trash Doc Rivers on the other show. Now he's Red Auerbach?
Hold on.
Man, get out of here, man. No,
Look at this guy.
we're not doing this. We're not doing
Chris
this.
Paul. He was with Chris Paul, who is a savant in the NBA.
Oh
He
my
knows
God.
he knows the P's and Q's of this.
No
JJ
pun
Redick
intended.
is a listener.
Ooh,
He
flip-flop.
listens.
Lou, you got any direct response to this
Please,
hot
Lou.
take from Hot Take Jake?
No, I'll leave it at that.
Hey, that's a wise man right there. He's been covering sports since before any of us was born. So
That's right.
I guess we'll leave that one right there, if the wise man says. But we can move on to the next topic. Hot take. I don't know if you're familiar with Pat McAfee. Anybody here watch Pat McAfee?
He the blasphemy version.
I've seen him.
Yeah, I watch a little bit of him.
Lou, you catch any Mr. McAfee shows?
I do catch from time to time. You know, like for about maybe a half an hour. So
I will say that I enjoy Pat McAfee. I'm not now. He's not my quote unquote go to source, if you will. I think I probably would go to. I don't really have a go to now because all of them are bad. But it's kind of Pat McAfee. Respectfully, back in my college days when he first started his platform, he was known for being a little bit unconventional, heck of wild, and I think that was the luxury you can have on it, being on the internet, starting your platform, being a little bit more independent. I think we all know that he got that monumental deal with ESPN. And me personally, I think it's kind of killed the show. You know what I mean? Because you can't do a Disney that you can do down here on YouTube with us. But there was a report. Now, this all came from the Stephen A. stuff, which we're gonna cover that, the next topic. But Stephen A. Smith is asking ESPN. He's in contract negotiations with ESPN, and he's asking for $25 million. And the reason why he's doing this now, everybody may not be aware, it's not because he wants to be the top paid dude or anything. It's about the numbers. By himself, Stephen A. Smith with no Shannon Sharp, he pulls about 429,000 as far as audience. It's right under 500,000. Now with Shannon Sharp though, Shannon Sharp by himself, he pulls about 600,000, and with Shannon Sharp, they do about 720, in that area together. But Pat McAfee, since he's been on ESPN, has been averaging roughly about 200,000 viewers. So, which isn't bad, no, it's not bad, but it's been a direct point of contention as far as Stephen A. Smith wanting all this.
Let me put it this way. I should pay him $25 million. So he's Smith, big deal. He's not that great. Why are they gonna pay him that much? Sorry.
No, that's exactly the case. And I'm conflicted as far as
apologies for Stephen A. Smith impersonation.
No, Stephen A. And I'm not sure what y'all's opinion of him, gentlemen, is, but I ain't too high on the Stephen A. Smith stuff. But we like I said, we get into that. Pat McAfee's ratings, they not bad, but not great. I just want to go around the horn, gentlemen, and ask you all. Pat McAfee's getting 17 million. ESPN offered Stephen A. Smith 18 million. Stephen A. Smith wants 25 million. Just knowing these numbers, knowing the ratings, what's y'all's opinion about this? I'm gonna go with you first, Mike.
Give him the money. I'm not a Stephen A. guy by any means, but whenever I do turn to ESPN, once a week or whatever I do, he's on NBA Countdown. He's on First Take. He's on, like, he's just all over the place. I don't even think the dude sleeps, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So he's had ESPN on his back since COVID. Now we can say the quality has gone down because it has, but they obviously believe in him to put him in all these positions and have his face in all these places that they do. So act like it.
Yeah. I like that take. What you say, Clever D?
Give him the money. I mean, it's not like Disney doesn't have the money. One, their shows are failing on the network, but Stephen A is all over the place, and so is Pat McAfee being on Raw, and he's on a game day as well, and on Saturday morning. So his numbers might not show it. And that's why Stephen A is a smart businessman. He's like, look, I'm doing more numbers than him, so I deserve more money. So I get that aspect. So, and it's not like they don't have the money to give. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I really like that take. Lou, wise man, one say.
Yeah, just have to give him the money. Get it over with. Because he's just gonna keep barking and everything. He doesn't get the money, so just shut up and give him the money, make everybody happy, especially him.
Yeah.
They hear him yapping.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Lou. I think that he would definitely take this issue to his YouTube channel and rack up the views there. So you want Stephen A. to he can, and I think he can take this story to YouTube and generate. I don't know if it'll be 25 million, but people will be interested in why Stephen A. and ESPN not working together. What you say, Hot Take? What you got on this one?
Here's what I'll say. I think you pay him, but you find one thing. Shannon just got paid.
Mm-hmm.
What is Shannon? I've heard Shannon has more stuff going on at ESPN now that he got paid. My question is, does Shannon still play the same part on First Take, or does he move into his own show and they give him his own show eventually? Because that would change. I would throw that to Stephen A. back and say, hey, are you going to keep Shannon with you? Or if they already have plans of Shannon having his own show, you just said the numbers. They're dropping whenever Shannon's not on there. There was 3 top ones, and we know Skip is falling down like no other. But Shannon has become a prodigy of what he's done. From the Cat Williams interview to his nightcap show, he's done amazing work in the past 7-8 months. So for Stephen A., I think, Stephen A., you need to take the bag while you can, because that boy next to you, Shannon, is about to become the biggest out of all of y'all.
Yeah.
I think with what he's doing. So that what I would do is I would take the money. I would hope ESPN offers it to him. And I mean, meets him there. But we need to find out his future on what he's doing. You're right. He is on NBA Countdown. He does show up on what's that show before First Take with Greeny?
Get Up.
Greeny
He's
and
on that show early in the morning. When they want him to respond right then and there. But I need to find out your core. What'd you say, partner?
Was it Get Lost, Get Real?
Oh yeah, that Get Up.
Get Up.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're doing so well. I mean, heck. But if I'm Stephen A., I hope they pay him, but you need to find out how long you're going to have Shannon for, because that's your bread and butter right there.
That's a great point, Jake. That is an awesome point. Which kind of brings me to the next question, gentlemen, and you can expound on it if you like. Do you think ESPN at this point, now that they got Shannon and Pat, do you think they could survive without Stephen A?
I think so. I think so completely. Yeah. And let me tell you something also. Stephen A., if you listen to his interviews, whether he's up on the podcast with whether he's with Charlemagne at the Breakfast Club, whether he's with what's his name? The one on that other podcast with Antonio Brown. What is that podcast name? When he's with them, with Antonio Brown and what are those boys called? Fred Taylor, all those guys.
Channing Crowder and the
Channing Crowder.
Yes.
And all them.
If you listen to his interviews, he's telling you. Stephen A. has said it.
Here's a thought. With NBC getting back in the picture, maybe he might go there.
He's trying to take a Will Cain route. I've heard him throw out that he might even start becoming a debater for politics. He does not want to leave it in just one spot. I think he's really trying to, and that's why you saw him make his own podcast. And he said that ESPN makes nothing from that. That is his show. Right. I think he's trying to expand out. Now, how long for? I don't know. But I do believe the signing of Shannon, which is later in years, we will find out that Fox made one of the biggest mistakes. I think we will find out soon enough that Stephen A., I will believe this. I think this is Stephen A.'s last contract with ESPN, how long it is.
That's a good point.
I agree with that.
I take when you're not talking about LeBron, brother, you be on point, man.
It's not bad. It's weird. It's weird. It's like a helter skelter. He has to balance it out. Regular bullshit. Regular bullshit. It's just weird.
And I'm talking about like not even good takes. These are like
it's way over there. Jordan wasn't even that good. Like what, man? They get out of here. Like
Jordan couldn't go right. Like he couldn't go right.
Hey, before I leave, I'm not leaving yet. But before I leave, I gotta take about KD. I wanted to ask you, Clubber, because I know you're a Phoenix fan.
Yeah, we got
I can't wait for that.
We could throw KD in
there. Yeah.
But as far as Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, can they survive without him? What you say, Lewis?
They'll survive without him. And, with NBC getting back in the picture now, maybe he just might go there.
That ain't
Say it again, I'm sorry. Say that. Can you repeat that one?
NBC's getting back in the NBA now, whatnot. So maybe maybe they'll grab him, or maybe he'll just want to go there.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good. I think the NBC
Yeah.
getting the NBA will bring a lot of people back. You know, that was from that day, that era. What you say, Clever D?
I can see that because NBC. I mean, they're going to get the NBA again, and and I think Charles Barkley, he's not going to come on anymore. Stephen A.
No.
Like you guys mentioned earlier, he's been doing, like Jake mentioned, he's been on his political podcast of BDP. Patrick David, doing him, Charlemagne, just throwing his stuff out there because he knows the writing's on the wall. That's why he's asking for more money. He said, yes, I'm doing these numbers. He's doing this, so I should get more money. If I don't get this money, everybody else, I can still do this. So he's putting his stuff out there. And if they don't re-sign him, I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps into politics or hops up doing his own thing on YouTube or NBC.
That's a great point. Yeah. And what'd you say, Mike?
Yeah, I was going to say within the next 3 to 5 years, if he's not at ESPN, I could definitely see him having his own Fox show. Like people like Hannity getting a little long in the tooth. It might be time, to send them along their way and have a fresh new face. But as far as ESPN, yeah, they'll survive without him. They survived. They were ESPN before he ever showed up.
Yeah.
So they have the money, they have the investment, and they still have the monopoly on the sports game for the most part, as far as like these type of shows. Nobody's watching Undisputed and all that kind of stuff. So they'll find another voice.
Yeah, I respect that. I think so too. I definitely. And then find another voice. You got one,
Yeah, I mean, you got Shannon. I mean, I like Jay Will. That's the one I probably do like.
Another good point.
You go back with Skip on Fox,
I don't think, and that's interesting you say that, big bro. I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't think that would happen because I don't think Skip looks at anybody else in the game on his level. I think Skip looks at everybody like, I'm here, you here. I'm gonna do all it takes, and Stephen A is in that boss mode where you're number one because of me. Like
they both gonna,
yeah, they both. Yeah, that would be content for us, not for them. You know what I mean? You see that fist fight?
Put your glasses back on.
Pick your hairline up. Pick your hairline up. There you go.
Hey, man, I used to love watching Stephen A and Skip go at it back in my high school days and coming up, and I used to get up. I ain't had no coffee, have my Dr. Pepper and be ready. Be like, what Skip and Steven talk about today? But speaking on KD hot take, I don't know how much more time we got from you, but go ahead, man, give us that KD take, man, because
did y'all see the rumors that KD? They're trying to get the Rockets are in play for trying to get KD and Jimmy. Here's my point. And I had this on my just the podcast an hour ago, and I said this. Can we not agree? And I think I'm ahead of the curve on this. That KD is now more closer to Rudy Gay than he is to himself anymore. Does he make no? Really think about this, guys. He has done nothing for the Nets. Did nothing. He did nothing for the Suns. Clubber D, keep looking around. Think about this. You had a championship in the works with Chris Paul and D Book. The second he comes here, y'all don't even sniff a freaking Western Conference Finals. Clubber D, I think now more than ever, guys, we need to understand that he is more closer to Rudy Gay. He will put his 25 points up, and that is it. He makes no difference to this game anymore. You have to understand he is past his prime, and I think in the end, you need to start thinking of him as he's going to change a team completely. Be real with me, and I want to ask one more thing. Other than the Celtics, which I don't think would even grab him, and the Nuggets, is there a team he can join today that you would see him to be a championship caliber where they would automatically be picked to win it all? Because I don't anymore. I don't. I think he's more closer to Rudy Gay now.
Can we throw Golden State back? I don't think he should never have left Golden State.
That's what I was going to say.
There.
No, I this is not the KD from old. Does he do anything differently?
He's still hooping. What are you talking?
And yeah, I'm going to say Clubber D, go ahead and respond because KD.
It's not okay. The reason why the Suns are terrible is not KD's fault. It's the fact that we led the league in fourth quarter collapses this year. Okay, we let people like the Spurs beat us like 3 times this year. Okay, it's not Kevin Durant's fault. He was hooping. We played no defense. No one plays. The Book plays no defense. Book takes a sideline to watch Kevin Durant cook sometimes. That's my problem with Devin Booker, and he can't stay healthy half the time. When we lost to the Mavericks, that when Luka went off on us, Chris Paul didn't score to the third quarter. So it's not. I can't. And I'm saying this like Rudy Gay. That's ridiculous right there. Kevin Durant's still a top player in the league. Now he might not be the best or anything like that, or top 5, but he's still top in the league.
He's a top 10 player in the league. I can name 10 players I would rather have.
I said a top player. No, you can't. I said a top player. He's still a top player. And this is the thing. If he went to the Lakers, while you're crying for LeBron to get everybody under the sun, if he went to the Lakers, you'd be his number 2 fan.
Clubber D, they asked me that. You know what I said? I said he would hurt the team more than help. I'm being honest. He would hurt. Let me tell you something.
LeBron wanted somebody to shoot for him.
Oh, you just said that the Suns have bad defense.
Terrible.
Is that not part of KD's reason?
Yeah, but KD's not 5 people. He's one person. It's a whole team of no one playing defense. Okay, it's not Durant's fault. So the reason why the Suns are terrible, that's because we spent all our money on 3 people.
So we're not blaming,
and we got 1 draft pick, and we got to wait till damn 2030 for another draft pick.
Clubber D, when he joined that team, was he automatically placed as the number 1 player on that team? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Then it falls on yours. If you get the championship and you deservingly get to have the crown, you get all the praise. I'm going to give you all the hate too. You didn't do shit the past 2 years with the Suns. Tell me I'm wrong. Clubber D, y'all were a championship team 3-4 years ago. We
went to the chip, went up to, and then got swept. After that, straight downhill, and they've been searching to get back to that stand to that level, and just getting Kevin Durant ain't it. Okay, you can't just get one person and say you're the guy, you got to do everything. You got to get people around you. Okay,
I think.
Why do you think the Celtics won?
Right, that was a good point.
It's not one person. It's
I
a team.
think KD has played his last meaningful NBA games of all time. I
You're
think he will not have another
meaningful
game.
You can't say that without knowing that's bullshit. Like the back of your head's like, man, that's bullshit. You know that.
No,
you know that's bullshit.
I don't take him serious anymore, guys. He reminds me, and I said this on my other pod. He reminds me he's the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA. And let me tell you why. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will ever win another meaningful game. I don't think they make the playoffs. If they do, he loses in the first round. I think KD is a 7, maybe 5 to 7 seed tops, and never does anything again in his career. He already has been to the highest point. I don't even care if he joins the damn Heat. He's not worth it anymore. He's closer to Rudy Gay. Remember Memphis Rudy Gay? Man, that boy was a baller. But we never thought Memphis as a serious team to win anything.
Rudy Gay's never been on Kevin Durant's level, though.
I think right now he's closer to Rudy Gay than he is to his old self. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm so conflicted right now.
What you got, Mike? Chime in.
Like soon as Jake said it, I was ready to jump on him.
Yeah.
but as the conversation went on, he's not that. I don't think he's far off. Like Rudy Gay is obviously like out there. I was thinking more like somebody like Paul George. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can take that.
But this is the way I look at it though, because Jake is also missing some context. Because in Brooklyn, remember when Giannis went heat-seeking missile on Kyrie's knee and took out his ankle, and then James Harden hurt his hamstring? KD got to game 7, his shoe was too big.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They go to the finals that year. You know what I mean? If his shoe was the right size. So that's number 1. Number 2, Frank Vogel, they brought him in this year, defensive coach, but you got to let the process work itself out. Frank Vogel asked the owner and GM, get me a point guard. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have any money to do it because they went out and got Bradley Beal for some odd reason. So the person that you need to be looking at, in my opinion, is Devin Booker, because we're about 3 or 4 years removed from him being the next Kobe. Where'd that go? Where did that go? You know what I mean? So now, Kevin Durant, I do agree with you that Kevin Durant is going downhill and not going anywhere near the top again. But I think that's age-related more than it is just Kevin Durant, the player himself, like itself. And from that, and last thing, and from that standpoint is when you look around the NBA, you got teams like Boston, you got teams like Oklahoma City, you got teams like Denver. What's the difference between them and Phoenix? The difference is those are complete teams.
Mhm.
And Phoenix is a 3-man
Nothing.
show
That's
that
it.
they threw together for 1 year with only one dude that's worth the top billing in the first place.
True.
Exactly.
Facts.
I like that. That's some great,
Can I add this
great
point?
context.
Mike,
Okay.
Mike.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If Steph Curry would leave any team right now, leave his team and go to another team, he is 1 year older than KD. I think he can make the Heat a championship caliber team.
I don't.
I don't think
What?
so.
What?
I
The
don't.
second best player of that generation? Yes, he would. Come on, he just won himself a ring not too long ago. Like, he could do it. I don't think KD can. KD is past it. I think we are now on the fall of it, and I'm telling you right now, he doesn't do anything good. Name me something that is anybody afraid of KD anymore? Be honest. Nobody fears that man whenever they're playing against him. They know that he can get his 25.
I agree with that.
I'm going to get my 25 too.
I agree with that part. But I just think that you're oversimplifying to make a point to shit on KD. Like you could still tell the truth about KD and still acknowledge the rest of the things that are going on.
I don't think it's shitting on him. I think it's being honest about him. I think eventually you have to be real about these guys.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think that you can do that and acknowledge the cluster that Phoenix is. You know what I mean? Like it's not just him.
Mike, I'm so glad you said that.
Matter of fact, hold on, real quick. Just like with Steph, right? Your point about Steph. He didn't even get out to play in this year.
Because of Klay Thompson.
No.
With his logic, we can't bring nobody else in.
You know what I mean? You can't bring that up.
Logic.
Steph is the second best player of this generation.
So that's his logic.
There's two things that Steph has already done that KD did not do. First off, he won a ring before he got there. And then the second thing is he made sure to win one after he left.
What happened during that first ring?
What do you mean after the first ring?
What happened during that first ring? Why was that first ring? Why did he win that first ring?
They beat LeBron.
Because Kevin Love and Kyrie didn't play in that series. That's why.
Oh, come on, man. What are we doing here?
You can't ignore that.
It's context. Did that not happen?
You can't ignore that stuff.
Did Steph also blow a 3-1 lead? And then they went to the parking lot and begged Kevin Durant to show
just
up?
made fun of Celtics by playing bums.
By the way,
that's not their fault.
They had them beat as well the next year. I mean, of course they choked, but the very next year they had him beat as well.
But KD didn't come.
You're just
to
playing
them.
the greatest basketball
They
player of all time,
KD.
and you lose.
There's
nothing wrong with that.
KD didn't come to them.
And fellas, if you don't mind, Lewis, can you speak to this take? Do you got any thoughts as far as, do you think KD is dried up? Do you think he's played his best basketball?
He's dried up. He was dried up about 2 years ago.
I agreed with that. Yeah,
I think it was just right since the 2021 season. Oh, I don't want to get vaccinated. I want this and that. He's been done since then. And he did it to himself. Nobody did it to him. His pompous, arrogant style. What do you want to call it? He did it to himself, and he's been out of it now for the last 3 years. So, he's seen better days. KD is done.
Can I add this real quick? Go ahead.
His performance in the finals, especially in Game 5, when Dallas got destroyed by something, that was it. I mean, he's like.
I think you're talking about Kyrie. I think you're talking about Kyrie. We're talking about Kevin.
We're talking about Kevin Durant.
Oh, Durant. Yeah, I think he's seen better days. He's not, the one he once was. He hasn't been the same for quite a while.
Let me say this really quick, Mike. Does it not hurt KD to go from a transcendent organization as the Warriors and go to the crappy ass Nets and then go to the crappy ass Suns? Can we not blame KD for that one too?
No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on all that. I'm just adding the context because you're just simplifying it as KD showed up and the Suns fell apart. That wasn't what happened.
They looked great.
That wasn't what happened. That wasn't what happened.
I think a lot of teams look better whenever he leaves.
They're not the same team. They didn't.
What the Nets do?
You're forgetting that when they went to the finals. You're forgetting that when they went to the finals, not only did they have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, they had DeAndre Ayton.
Yes.
Said they had Torrey Craig hitting timely shots. You know what I mean? Like this Phoenix team is literally bum Bradley Beal, who can't stay healthy,
Bank robber.
overrated Devin Booker, who was supposed to be Kobe, but he's not even Vince Carter.
Fell off. Can't play
You know,
defense.
and then you got nothing else. Like there's
Grayson Allen.
nothing else unless you want to count Nurkic.
It's
Rebound.
embarrassing for that man to not
Yeah.
even be in the Western Conference Finals at least once in his tenure right now with the Suns.
This
It's
is his first
embarrassing.
year.
He's the
It was his
leader.
first year with the Suns.
This is his second year.
Well, he came mid-season. He came
came mid-season.
Like he hasn't. This was his first full season with the Suns.
Next year is a prove it year, and I really do believe they don't do anything. I think it gets
he's
worse.
done. I agree
He's
with
not.
you.
He's not
He's
gonna
done.
do anything with them. He
Yeah,
probably won't
he's
be on
done.
team. They might
I
trade him
agree
because
with
we're the money. Their owner, their new owner's a jackass. We're talking so much crap, so much shit, and with the way the money's going, they probably don't have the money to keep him, retain him. So that's why they probably will train him because we have no draft picks after this year. We have no draft picks like 20, 30, 31 or something like that.
I just want to say, Clubber D, this is now two organizations. He's came, and as he left, they look like crap. What are
They
you
were like that
talking?
before he got there, though.
They were just having a championship. What are you talking about, Clubber D?
Look. They were in a championship. You're acting like this ain't the year after we were in a championship. You know that, right? There's been some time. We traded for him in mid-year, and we traded Cam.
I think y'all traded a bunch
Mikal
of pieces
Bridges.
that made y'all get to the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
And then y'all thought KD was gonna do it.
Exactly. You're
Well,
making
that's
our
not
point.
Hold on, though.
KD
If
can
he's
use
the best
those.
player in the world, if he's a top 5, top 10 player, he
But he's
shouldn't
not.
be losing the way he is.
But he's not.
But he's not up there no more. He's still a good player, but he's not
I
up
just
there.
said he was a top player.
I said he is a top player,
Top 20.
not top 5.
Yeah. It's 480 jobs in the NBA. He's top 20. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put 400.
You put him on the Wizards. He's putting up probably 25, 30.
Clover D, could you name
shots fired
before
at
I go, could you name a team he could join right now that they would be championship aspiration team?
Golden State.
Right now.
There's no way. Why are we saying Golden State?
All right, so
Minnesota.
Jake, let me ask you a question, Jake.
Minnesota.
If this Rocket thing happens, what's their ceiling?
The second round.
With
Okay.
Fred Van Vliet. They got Fred Van Vliet.
What? The hell that changed?
Yeah, Mario Ellie.
That's how you be sounding sometimes, Jake. That's how you be sounding.
Exactly.
So I haven't heard. I heard that the Rockets were interested in him.
Yeah.
I don't know what the trade looks like. Have you heard details of what a trade?
I haven't
looks
heard
like?
it either, but they're also trying to go after Jimmy as well, which is crazy to me.
Well, I think it's one or the other, not both.
It's gonna be a spread out. It's gotta be the third pick.
They going for both of them. Yeah, they going for both of them. Sorry, but I heard
I heard they were going for both.
Oh, really? Okay.
But the only kicker is they will have to give up, everything. They're gonna
Way
like
too much to do it, and I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to probably give up Sengun. Definitely gonna have to give up, Green, Jabari Smith. So
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even give
I
up
wouldn't.
Amin
I wouldn't
Thompson for
jeopardize it.
KD at this point.
yeah, I wouldn't give up my breaking piece was Sengun. I think that young guy is he definitely shows some potential, especially last year. You need a promising big, to kind of if nothing else showed you that, with the KP and the Boston Celtics, you need at least a serviceable big, excuse me. So if you get
I'm
rid
about to leave, but I want to say one more point. I think right now, if you're in the West, you have 2 to 3 years max because we already know Wemby is coming to take over the league.
Yeah.
You have 2 to 3 years left to become a championship team because when Wemby takes over, there's no coming back. He's about to have himself a Jordan run himself.
Is that when you flip flop to your real squad, the Spurs? Is that when you flip flop back to them, or
It's gotta be hate. I've been a Spurs fan the whole time, Clover D.
you've had LeBron's jockstrap in your mouth from the beginning?
I just
so
like
now you-
LeBron. I think LeBron is factual, and you got to help him out. Come on, man.
I thought
Do
you
you
was
want
a
to see another legend?
Exactly
go
right.
away?
Exactly. They're
really
two
think
teams.
that-
Make it out of here.
Oh,
Though
well, I hope
the-
you're right. As a
it's
San
gonna-
Antonio resident, I hope you're right.
I think yes. I think Wemby is up and coming. I think this
Okay.
year they have to build. I think they do. But if you're in the West, you have 2 years to 3 years max. 2 to 3 years max.
So
All
real
right.
quick before you go, what you want to see them do in the draft?
No,
Or
I
does
want
it
them
matter?
to trade those picks. I
Both
want
of
them
them?
to trade those picks and get yourself a star or superstar.
Maybe
I
like
think
John
Donovan
Morant.
Mitchell would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Get D. Mitch. Get you a D Mitch. Get you. I know they won't trade Anthony Edwards. I can't
I
stand
see
it.
DeRozan. I can see DeRozan maybe going. They've
Yeah.
been room for DeRozan
No,
forever.
I don't want no DeRozan.
I can see that. He's been so.
I'll
rumored
never
in
go to
trades.
another Spurs game if they bring DeRozan down here again.
No, I'm talking about to the Lakers.
Oh, the Lakers.
Yeah.
Well,
That was
talking about,
rumored
Yeah,
forever.
another dude that can't shoot.
There you go.
all right,
Well, then
fellas.
he's pretty useless.
All right,
Hey.
bro.
Hey, congrats on the
Appreciate
new
it,
show,
bro.
Tony. Nice
Say it again?
meeting you, Mike. Clubber D, man. I'm
Yes,
on
sir.
your ass this NFL season, man. You got it.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
lot to talk about.
Lou.
Hey, appreciate
All
you.
right, Jake.
Jake. Thank you, bro. That's a good guy right there,
Funny
man.
guy right there.
Yeah, you're gonna keep it interesting for sure.
No doubt about that.
But I agree. You know, he made some good points. And I definitely would say, you know, KD's a little bit more peak Paul George these days than Rudy Gay, but
Yeah.
you know, give or take.
I didn't compare Rudy Gay to him. I mean, really, Rudy Gay's like second rate.
Rudy
Yeah.
Gay was an insult. That was an insult.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but that's hot take Jake for you. You know,
Yeah.
he always take it a little too far.
Right.
All right, gentlemen, if we could segue over to some a little bit of boxing. Clever D is our boxing expert for sure, for sure. Lewis, have you been keeping up with the storylines in the boxing? There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I heard about the last fight, but I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Okay. But just jump in, chime in where you can, where you feel comfortable. Because I think first and foremost, and Club and Mike, I would love for y'all to speak to this. Devin Haney. All right. Been getting a lot of hate in this media. I think it's been a little bit unreasonable considering that he was cheated, considering that, you know, he's done everything right. He's given us the fights. I'll say this: he's tried to give us the fights that we wanted to see, and when you know the Tanks of the world, the Shakuras of the world said no, he's giving us the next best thing. I was not upset about the JoJo Diaz fight. I wasn't upset about him going at Camboso. Definitely love the Loma fight. You know, that's one of the controversial ones, and of course the Prograis fight as well. But gentlemen, just your thoughts on Devin Haney and what he's been going through. I'll start with you, Clever D. You are an expert.
I'm gonna try not to get too long-winded on this one, but
Look, big bro, cook.
I don't understand why. See, I grew up in the era when boxers wanted to fight other boxers and be the best. It wasn't about your internet fame. It wasn't about your, oh, look at me. I had so-and-so show up to the fight. Look at me. I'm iced out. Whatever money's money, whatever. But I'm used to fighters want to be the best. Okay. This kid who grew up in Mayweather's gym, and held the belts for Zab Judah when he was walking to the ring back in the day. You know, all he's known is fighting. His dad say what you want about Bill Haney, but he's a positive dude. He talks a lot. Yes, don't get me wrong, like any other boxing dad. You know, but he's there for his son. Mayweather was mad that he didn't sign with him and did his own thing. Devin Haney Promotions, he's his own promotion company. He's made millions, so he's done well for him and his family. Now, when he went and fought George Kambosos and got undisputed, he didn't even have his dad at camp because his dad wasn't allowed in Australia until 48 hours before the fight. So Zab Judah's dad had to train him most of that training camp. And you know, he's the youngest undisputed champion, so he's already a Hall of Famer. Okay, he's defended the belt twice, fought 2 times, and won the belt in Australia, defended it in Australia, came back in America and fought Lomo. Controversial, yes, but he won that fight. Now he's moved up to fight Ryan Garcia, and I feel like I don't know why the boxing fans hate him. I don't understand why you don't want a boxer who wants to be the best and fight other boxers. You know, I that's what I don't understand with the Devin Haney stuff. I really don't get that.
I mean, right
You know what?
with you, big brother. Yeah, Lewis, you speak to it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he seems like he comes up with the, you know, real hated guy. But you know, the thing is that boxing has changed since I grew up. You know, the fighters are more legit. The reps are more legit. You know, you don't have like a good a system anymore. You know, with the officials and whatnot. Just let's say they're trying to fix fights and whatnot. You know, it doesn't seem to be as, you know, like it was back when, you know, like in the 70s and 80s. You know, it seems like there's somebody say it's a bit more fixed now. And the quality of the boxing has gone down. Only back in the 70s and 80s. So really, boxing has just changed a lot in the last 30, 40 years. That's why you don't see big fights on television anymore. Yeah, and of course UFC's taken over too, so that has also hurt boxing as well. So there's been a lot since, you know, I grew up.
Oh yeah, I think it's much to do with the social media, Lewis, and
That's a killer. That's a killer.
yeah,
Yep.
I think a lot of these dudes are on Twitter more than they're in the gym these days, and it counts against
They
them.
probably take Twitter on in the gym.
Yeah, yeah, and even if they're in the gym, they're on Twitter.
Yeah, they take it with them.
What you got for us, Mike?
I never thought I would say these words, but Devin Haney is too much substance, not enough style.
Mm.
And I don't mean that for me. I just mean that as far as drawing people into the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney is the type of dude that you should want to follow in boxing. When you look at where he came from, where he's gotten to, his accomplishments, you can't ask for anything better than that. But the problem is that every time we see Tank, somebody's looking at the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, when we saw Garcia, people were looking at the lights. You see somebody like, Tiafomo, he looked better against Lomachenko than Haney did. I do think Loma won the fight, but it could go either way. It could be a draw. It wasn't as bad as, say, Triple G and Canelo.
Yeah,
But
that's terrible.
but with Haney, I think that it's the lack of personality. I think that people don't understand the things that you understand from the standpoint of Tank not wanting to fight him. I don't think the general public knows that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then being that he came up under Mayweather, Mayweather is probably the most hated dude in sports history. From the standpoint of, even though he accomplished all the things that he accomplished, people still wanted to see more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Haney, when he fought Pagres, that was the fight where I think people were starting to, because that was the first fight of his that I saw recently that I was like, oh, he's hurting this dude, because he was always winning fights. He was always boxing you up.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see him as Shakur. You know what I mean? But I think most boxing fans would think that was the most boring fight that you could put on.
That's a good point. I think that's the contention in boxing. It's the savant. It's the fans, us versus the stands. The guys that just want to see a knockout, that just want to see blood, And I hate to say this, but my dad is a casual boxer. This man's been watching boxing since Muhammad Ali. He's still a casual because he.
So am I.
And there's nothing wrong with it. You need your casuals. And shout out to my big bro Melvin Wall. He explained to me why casuals are essential. They're annoying as hell. They're annoying as hell to us because we're watching the game, we're watching football, but we're watching it for a different reason. We're studying the science of it, the nuance of it. These dudes just want to see touchdowns. They just want to see blood. They're like the old Roman, audience. Are y'all not entertained? You're like, no. So casuals, they want that extra oomph, and it's kind of worked against us as far as us being the real fans, because here you go, you got the Eddie Hearns of the world, you got the Al Haymans. Essentially, we do their jobs for them. They're supposed to be the ones that orchestrate these matches and do the hyping. We tell them, hey, we want to see this guy versus that guy. But just to keep it on Devin Haney, I do think that the young man receives a lot of unjustified hate. And it's kind of weird to me just because he ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't in the media talking crazy. He ain't getting arrested, 100 DUIs, nothing like that. I do want to say this about Bill Haney, though. I think the one reason why a lot of these dudes hate Bill Haney, man, is because they either didn't have their dads, or they themselves are horrible dads. Because let me tell you this, bro. My son is 4 years old. He hit the baseball the other day for the first time. I couldn't stop crying. I'm like, yo, LeBron who? LeBron who? So I can imagine my son, 24, going undisputed, in the world's number one sport. Like, crazy. Your name rings bells over there in Saudi Arabia. They know who Devin Haney is. So I don't knock Bill Haney at all. I think people hate him because either their dads was crap or they're crappy dads themselves, and they can't identify with a father that actually proud of their son. I'm sorry. Well, the goon say photo shoots in the gym. Yeah, facts, bro.
That's true.
That's the era. But just speaking to that, man, to the next level. Who do y'all want to see Devin Haney fight next? Because of course, there's been rumors and speculation that he's gonna sit out a year or two, maybe waiting on Ryan Garcia. Uh, let me run with let's go, Mike. You go first this time, big bro. I
I
think
want Shakur, man. Like just from the standpoint of when I was growing up, the way boxing was taught to me was it's the sweet science. You know what I mean? The tacticians,
Yes.
like it's a thinking game, it's strategy, it's chess while trying to move at the same time without being hit.
Yep.
So I think that those two will provide one of the best boxing matches that we've seen to date.
Yeah.
But like I said, the problem is the casuals. So, so being more realistic, there ain't no reason on God's green earth for Tank and Haney not to have been in that ring yet. There ain't no reason for it. I never thought we were going to see. I never thought we were going to see Spence and Bud. I never thought we were going to see that.
Spence was ducking 5 years.
But we did see that now. So now give me my new fight that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want to see.
This is the new Spence and Bud. That's a good point. Lou, if you want to take who would you like to see Devin Haney fight next?
I think we'll change with Garcia. See what that because he's a good fighter. So yeah, I'll put my money on Garcia if it was a betting man. But still, I'll take him.
I would take Garcia on PEDs. I would take him against. I would take PED Ryan versus Usyk right now because that fool looks strong.
It's people don't understand like that. It pisses me off so much when people, the casuals, and I get it. If you're a Garcia fan, hats off to you. For whatever reason, he's never really showed that he's super great at boxing. He's a draw, but he wasn't a draw after the Tank fight. Only had like 5,000 people in Houston when he fought Oscar Durante, and it was a terrible fight. He purposely, in his one and only title fight, he missed weight on purpose by 3.5 pounds, which is just ridiculous. If you watch boxing, you don't do that. He didn't put his body to that position to drain it to make weight, And second, he admitted to having an illegal IV. All right, so in the first sample that he failed, he had another steroid, the androlone, or whatever it is, that the anabolic steroid, and then it wasn't there the second. The B sample, and that's what the IVs are for, when you're to help flush stuff out your system. And he admitted to using one. He failed 5 drug tests. He failed the VADA test and he failed the New York Commission test, and he only give him a year, which is just that's ridiculous. They're hooking him up. You know what I'm saying? And Haney, he just gave up his belt, the WBC, because he's supposed to fight his Sandor Martin, his mandatory, but only one up did a purse bid was Top Rank. Basically telling him that nobody wants to see you no more. So he's like, man, screw this. And WBC did him dirty. WBC was like, Ryan, we feel bad for you, but never said, Haney, how are you doing? Since a cheater almost tried to kill you in the ring, you know what I'm saying? And admittedly said he tried to kill you. So Haney says he's going to take a year off, and he's going to do straight, hopefully he does what he says he's going to do, fights Ryan Garcia at whatever weight Ryan wants to do, and it'd be kind of like Miguel Cotto against Antonio Margarita, who cheated with the damn plaster in his gloves.
Right.
Take a year off, whoop his ass. Because I put Garcia up there with my other cheaters like Jarrell Miller, Antonio Margarita, who's the biggest cheater of all time to me. Also with Canelo's a cheater. I love him to death, but Roy Jones was taking Rip Fuel. He got caught with some stuff, James Toney. So it's not like he ain't the only one that did it. I just don't like the way Ryan was like, oh, it wasn't me, it's that, and God this and God that. But you talking about taking people's wives and making their kids call you dad and stuff like that. Like, that's why I don't respect the man at all.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I agree with bro. Yeah, Ryan, it's one thing to do what you do, you know what I mean? And then, some of us, we take our licks. It's another thing to do what this dude been doing, man. I'm talking. I had to come see you. Talking about my wife that online.
Yeah, Earl Spence Campos, and he talked to him.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy. I'm with Errol.
Caleb Plant too. Threw that water on him. Caleb Plant threw the water, threw the beer at him at the Tank fight.
Right. Caleb Plant got a problem, man. That he always in some kind of altercation.
He grew up around the brothers. He don't play.
Fact. Yeah. He's really one of my favorite fighters. Quiet as kept.
So let me ask Clubber a question. What do I got to do? Because I was talking about how I want Shakur and Haney. What do I have to do to get Canelo and Benavidez?
Oh, good point.
Canelo is just the problem is the belt commissions. The belts need to hold Canelo feet to the fire.
Okay.
Because you can't say I'm going to fight William Skull, or Edgar Berlanga, the WBA mandatory, when David Morrell was already the mandatory for 4 years.
Right.
Okay, these belts need to come up and say, hey, you know what, WBC, David Benavidez has been the interim for the last 3 years. You have to fight him. But they don't do that because the belts get a part of the pay-per-view buys. So they get a part of when a champion fights, they get part of that money. Canelo's still a cash cow when it comes to pay-per-views. So they're not going to want him to lose the belt because David Benavidez, we want to see it. But like you said, the casuals, he's not a draw like some of the others are, you know. So Canelo, that's why Benavidez went up to trying to kind of pigeonhole him to get all to be the mandatory for the winner of Arthur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight. And if he gets that belt, he can say, hey, Canelo, where are you going to go? Who are you going to fight? You know, so Canelo's, I mean, his days are kind of numbered as far as being a top fighter because he's not fighting nobody. He's fighting guys that are just moving up.
And that's why I think UFC has, you know, come along the way that it did. Because, you know, if I see like Anderson Silva was my favorite, Anderson Silva was my favorite. And Anderson Silva, you know, he lose a fight. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? We just want to see you fight again. You know what I mean? But boxing has this thing where if you don't have that 0 in your column,
stupid.
You know what I mean? Like they I don't know if it's real though. I mean the casuals, but I don't know if it's real. Like if Tank were to lose to Haney, I don't think that I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna watch another Tank fight. He's not who I thought he was.
It's promoters too. The promoters kind of like Mayweather was the one promoting Tank and making his fights. Tank would only fight certain type of fighters that were flat-footed and didn't have the same complexion as him. Okay, so that's why they avoided the Haneys and Shakurs and people like that. They're like, oh, well, he fought Frank Martin. Don't nobody know who Frank Martin is. I mean, Frank Martin ducked Shakur for this fight. So, and he kind of lost his last fight prior to this fight. And the thing about Tank is, I mean, I'm kind of a Tank fan, but he drains people. He does the same thing Mayweather Canelo does. So it's like
that's Garcia, right?
Yeah, he was at a catch weight at 136. Yeah. And he said that we're draining you. We're doing this because we know you're on steroids. He was a big time Garcia's on steroids person, and then now he's buddy with him because they have over a million pay-per-view buys. So it's all about, you know, the revenue and things like that instead of the purest of boxing right now. That's why it's trash.
I agree. That's a great question, great answer. That's something, Club of D be cooking on that boxing, man. I wish we had. I'm gonna get my soundboard, big bro. I ain't gonna steal you and Sports Professors Club Bangers. I'm gonna give you something.
Come check us out on Thursday. We got a show on Thursday. Check us out, Ball and Buds on YouTube. Okay, we got a show on Thursday for the UFC. I'm gonna get more in depth in some of this stuff too. So check us out if y'all got time.
I've been trying to keep up with the UFC, man. The 30, I know you and Professor doing the 303 right now. My only thing with the UFC, man, I think I just know Dana White's is ripping these dudes off. They out there fighting for. I think I probably make more money than half the UFC fighters.
They like PBC Al Heyman boxers don't fight for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? They door dashing.
And then when they do fight, they're only fighting for like what, $1 million and something less than that. You know, sometimes
if they're lucky.
What do you
UFC is corrupt a little bit.
Can you speak to that club? I mean, I think it would never surpass boxing because you got Tank making 30, 40, 50 on the fight. A UFC fighter would never see that.
Tank's numbers are iffy because yes, you could say Tank. He says yes on the face of boxing, but you only had, not saying it's bad, but you had only 200,000 pay-per-view buys this last go round. Yeah. Okay, people talk about the money he makes. He wasn't one of the top 4 in the Forbes when it comes to boxing. Okay, that was Joshua, Canelo, Fury, and I believe Usyk was the other one in the Forbes top 100 is boxers making money per year. They're making money. UFC is, but they're shady because I don't say shady, but Venom is the people that wear their shorts. Okay, there was like a 60 or 70 or $80 million deal. Fighters get nothing of that. They get none of that. That's all. I went straight to the UFC. Now Dana White has it so where if you don't fight and you're a champion, unless you're John Jones or Islam, we'll take the belt from you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to hold that hostage unless you're one of the rare people. Other than that, if you don't fight, you're not going to get paid, and you're gonna fight at least 3 to 4 times a year as a champion. So there is no politicking, there is no different commissions, there's no different belts. It's single source. These are my guys, and they're going to fight. Now you could be a top guy and probably get a little bit of gate revenue, and I mean the top guys do get a couple million, you know, but it's not like boxing. It's not like boxers do get a lot more money. I will say that. And Dana White just they have no choice. Where are they going to go? You know,
Yeah, that's
they can go to PFL. That's about it.
Right. I think that's the number one reason why boxing will remain king with the corruption. I mean, if anybody was going to surpass boxing, it should have been the NFL. But we know.
Yeah.
But what's up with boxing's marketing though? Because like like the other last night, as I was prepping for the draft, I saw a commercial like Tiafomo, like fighting this weekend. No idea until I saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
We're the promoters, bro. The social media.
We are. Tiafimo said he was like, he was mad at Top Rank because he tried to leave and had to come back, and he was basically like, I don't want to be here. They only want to promote black fighters. But like not Al Heyman, Bob Arum admittedly said when Bud left that he can't promote, he's not good at promoting black fighters. That's why Floyd left him. I mean, he promoted Muhammad Ali back in the day, yes, but he's not really good at promoting black fighters. He's just not. It is what it is. And ESPN, they need to go back to their Friday night fights. They need to go back to they do have these cards with Tiafimo and say Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis represent Virginia, the people like that fighting. But this is ESPN. Have more little commercials for them, do more things like that. So it's just, we'll talk about it, but we gotta get Skip or Shannon Sharp or someone else to talk about these fights some more to get more eyes on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at Amazon. Amazon said nothing about the Tank fight. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's Amazon.
Yeah. I think it's the money thing, big bro. And then when you see, fans going at it as feverishly as we do online, especially I hate to say it, the tanker bells.
Oh,
you don't need a promoter. You don't need a promoter if you got some tanker bells on Twitter. They ain't gonna do this. I swear it's gonna be the greatest thing ever. It's gonna be like, man.
Probably Lomo when Lomo's 100 years old. Like Mayweather threatened him with Lomo back in the day. Like,
let's
kill me with this.
Let's speak to that, gentlemen, because there's a contradictory. Can't say that word. A contradiction going around right now, where Devin Haney is thinking about fighting. Who's it? It's one of Tank's leftovers. They saying.
Oh, Haney?
Yeah, Haney's trying to fight somebody.
He might fight Garcia. He said he's gonna take a year off. I think me personally, I think Haney's gonna go straight to Garcia and not really do nothing because he's not gonna fight his mandatory Sandor Martin, who should have been Tiafimo, but he's giving up his belt.
Hey, look, 1 second, gentlemen. We got a legend. One of my
the man, the legend, the man himself.
Nah, man. I'm just a regular Joe Smo from Kansas City, Missouri, man. Don't let this be out, man.
Welcome to the panel, big bro. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Apologize for my tardiness, but yeah, man. Like always, I'm always recording something, so I ran over a little bit of time. My man Clubber D in the building. Always.
What up, brother?
Mike, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And of course, bro, Tony, what's happening with you, man?
Take it easy, trying to keep up with you, big bro. You know what I'm saying? Make sure my Ferrari tuned up so I can keep up.
Yeah, man. You must got the wrong Ferrari because mine's a Kia, so I don't even know.
He's still in them joints.
Yeah. Watch out. Nah. I got the push to start, so the Kia boys can't get me, dog. So,
You still got the hamsters in it. The hamsters breakdancing outside of it and stuff.
Hey, I'm gonna be mad if they take my joint. My joint paid off, so I didn't pay this thing off. You ain't gonna stay my thing, man. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Audience going crazy. They say wild card.
Oh, what's happening? Oh, that's my man. Oh, man, that's like brother from another mother, man.
Right.
Shout out, sports professor.
Yeah, always a sports professor. Oh, baby.
Well, baby, I gotta do. We gotta plug in. Let the people know where they can find you. In fact, hold on. I want to say this one more. Give you a as I was sending this man the link to come on this show. I didn't know you was gonna be on the Tease podcast. I'm like, what you doing, Victor? I need you on the panel. He on another show. I'm sending him the link.
Everywhere, bro. Man. Because I'm everywhere, man. Just do yourselves a favor. Right under my name. That's my Twitter handle. Going over to Twitter, Casey Wildcard, and you'll see me post everything that I'm got going on. Obviously, my home base is ILW Sports Network, but we also got I got a lot going on, so just going over there, man.
Yeah, facts, bro. Yeah, and if you're on the internet, you're gonna see Wild Card Mars eventually. You just get on the net, just get on the net.
So,
Hey, but we're talking a little boxing right now, big bro. We could swing back on a couple topics if you like, but
I mean, I'm rolling with the flow. Whatever y'all talking about, man, y'all know I can get down with it, so I'm with it, man.
well, we kind of cooking on Tank right now. Club of D, I'm gonna let you interject, bro. Well, as far as we had a little, some questions, some open panels going on, but let me ask you about this Devin Haney situation first, big bro. What you think about the Devin Haney temperature in the room, the fans going crazy?
Either make it happen or shut the hell up. I mean, it's if you ask me, I think it's almost. I could also say with Tank, either fight Devin Haney or fight Shakur. Fight one of them two. You got to give boxing fans one of those matches. You got to. I prefer you give us both, whether he wins them or not. I prefer both because I love Devin Haney. He's a very technical boxer. Obviously, Tank got the power. For me, Shakur Stevenson is pretty much damn good all around. So between the three of y'all, like y'all could just have a little back and forth between the three of y'all and keep you could at least make some good money between the three of y'all. I'm sure you can make some good money between the three of y'all. So and me and Clubber and Omar have talked about this. This is the problem I have with boxing. Y'all promoters and y'all politics getting away of what boxing fans want. We need to see at least one of these fights, one of these matchups between Haney, Shakur, and Tank. If y'all not gonna give it to us and y'all just gonna keep giving us clickbait to bark and yap on Twitter and IG, that's when people are gonna tune you out and get more viewers to UFC. Give us the fights. So if you're not gonna do it and have these little fits and push little skirmishes in the club while y'all fighting over lemon pepper wings and titties, keep it there.
Yeah.
So then, other than that, Lynn, what are we doing, man? I think you're doing a huge disservice to the sport of boxing, if you ask me. I remember back in the days, even when I was younger, man, between Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, that whole class, they fought.
Multiple times.
You weren't dodging nobody. And I hate to say this, and I love Floyd Mayweather, but he's given the blueprint to these young cats to chase the bag, and I have no problem with chasing the bag. That's fine. Get your bread, because we know, is your career is not going to last long in boxing.
No,
you're taking multiple hits to the head. We understand that. But the fact of the matter is that when you chase the bag, and you nitpick your fights, how can I say you're the pound for pound best boxer when you dodge so many great talents? How can I say that you fought the best? How can I say that you are the best when you didn't fight half the best? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to do as a fan, for me, is to leave no doubt that you are the best because you fought the best. So that's always kind of been my issue with how boxing's been going lately. And unfortunately, as talented as Tank Davis is, he's definitely going the Floyd Mayweather route, where he'll nitpick his opponents. And he's not necessarily getting the biggest bag. He'll draw enough because his name, but he's not getting. I don't think he's getting the potential to get those big pay-per-view buyouts because he's fighting people we don't care about. That Frank Martin fight, come on, bro. What the hell was that shit?
Hey, big bro.
No,
the Tanker Bells are listening. You're gonna get us canceled. The Tanker Bells. They said Frank Martin was a prize fighter. I didn't.
Yo, the best thing about that fight was Tank coming out the Ghostbusters.
Yes, I did like that.
We got a call.
I did rock with that.
That was
okay.
lit,
So
prospect, unfortunately.
So take that moment out. You got a whole bunch of Frank Martin just being a hit dummy for 8 rounds.
Yeah. And you drained him. If he's so good, why you drain him? Why he got to be? Why was a rehydration clause?
And he said no VADA testing. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Oh
Bar.
yeah, a lot of PBC fighters. There's no VADA testing, so I side eye a lot of these guys because this is something I'm gonna touch on a little bit on Thursday when I do the show with Omar. But look at all the PBC fighters that have lost when they go across the street.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fighters. Stevie Fulton, Saburo Matias. You got look at Deontay Wilder. I think he was clean. Wilder, Stevie Fulton, Earl Spence. You know, a lot of these they're the guys that they hide and fight certain people, and then when they fight somebody from another promotion, they take L's.
Yeah,
it's been Charlo fighting Canelo. There's a lot of it's happened with a lot of these guys that Al Heyman's like, I'm gonna have you here and you fight in our little bubble, but when you cross the street,
that's a good point.
Just saying.
Hey Tony, and we ain't gonna act like Tank over here being my man Ryan Garcia, he's clean.
Oh yeah, big bro. Yeah, I just had to drop on him. I had to drop a bomb on him.
Yeah, okay.
My thing is, and I'm gonna be like, I'm just being a hater. You know, I'm doing a little yellow journalism. Hey, he's so damn cool. I'm starting to think Tank on the juice because how he was knocking my boy Frank around. I'm like, man, I know Tank got power, but when he hit Frank that first time, I seen Frank's eyes roll in the back of his head. He said, damn. It wasn't no sparring that could get you ready for that. So I'm just saying that, you know, just to kind of be a hater, but
yeah.
Hey, you best friends with a cheat. I used to be a personal trainer. The juice heads hung with the juice heads. You know what I'm saying? The clean guys when we was on the weights on the treadmills, the juice heads was doing.
Hey, birds of a feather flock together, baby.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
And the earlier point too about, you know, fighting the best and showing, leaving no doubt that you're the best. You also got to fight the best while they're at their best. Because that was the other thing that Mayweather specialized in. Like, I would have loved to have seen him fight Oscar, say, 8 to 10 years before they actually fought.
Yeah. Pacquiao 8 to 10 years before they fought.
Yeah,
hey, he's the reason. That's the reason why we got VADA testing, because he said Pacquiao was cheating for 4 years.
Right.
That's the way he aged him out. That he wanted to fight him. That's why there's testing like this in boxing, because of Mayweather Pacquiao.
Right.
So it's funny how that comes full circle.
Yeah. Tank is you're trying to do the Floyd thing, and I've been of this opinion that Floyd was the best thing that happened to boxing and the worst.
Yeah.
Pretty boy Floyd was the best. He was the last of the Mohicans. And as soon as that man got paid, he started acting like like this.
That's why him and 50 Cent were so cool, because 50 Cent was the same thing for rap music.
Yep. That's crazy. You say that, yeah. That's a good point.
And they're both petted, because if you cross Floyd, he does you dirty. He's kind of stopped fights for Devin Haney, and just like Andre Ward, when Andre Ward didn't sign with him and signed with Jay-Z back in the day, he was like, oh, well, you're Hunter. I forgot Andre Ward trainer at the time, kind of shitting on this trainer and just, saying that Andre Ward wasn't as great as champion as he was. I'm like, you crazy? Andre Ward he's one of my top fighters of all time. I mean, if his shoulder wasn't injured, Andre Ward would probably more people would know about him, but that's another person that, Tank had a little beef with back in the day, because he didn't sign with him. He went with Jay-Z instead.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah. You talking about Floyd? Because it seemed like Floyd was on the hit piece campaign as soon as Ward didn't sign with him.
He was everybody.
All right. Well, what do y'all think about this potential? We were talking a little Tank. It's projected. I know the Tanker Bells, they saying this now, but when it's time for Tank to fight, it's gonna be some Joe Schmo. But everybody's saying Loma. Loma and my granddad the same age, at a cool 157 years old. But
it's almost done. It's almost a done deal.
Do you think about? I'm gonna say it like this: I'm more excited about the Loma fight than a Frank Martin fight, because Loma's proven old, but Loma's still a bad man. He's still out here getting busy. I think he just beat up Josh Taylor, was it?
Kambosa.
Yeah. Which so speak to that. Club, what you think about this Tank and potential Loma matchup?
I mean, if this was back when Loma wanted to fight him a couple years ago, kind of see it. But I mean, Tank's no spring chicken. He's 30 years old. He's not young like Haney and Shakur and all those guys are. But I would say for Loma, Oscar Salido fight, which he lost, was like a second fight. Teofimo, Devin Haney, he's not good against pressure fighters. If you pressure him, he's not that great. But he has footwork. He's a ballerina dancer, unlike Frank Martin, who picked up the game kind of late. So he knows how to use the angles. And will Tank run into something? Who knows? But I I'll more when we get closer to the fight, kind of see how they're looking. But right now, I mean, I got Tank probably knocking him out in the 7th or 8th round. But I want to know if what the specifics of this fight will be. If there's no rehydration clauses, things of that nature. If it's straight up, I kind of want to see that and how Lomo's like training, how he's looking. But he's 36, 37 years old.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a lightweight. You can't be at that high level at that age. So no.
Yeah. What'd you say, Lewis? You like to see this matchup?
I like to see it. I gotta see it to believe it though first. So, but I'm ready to see it.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. Because we were supposed to gotten Tank and Shakur a year ago, and then all of a sudden Frank Martin was in the mix. So, what you say, Mike?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I want no part to this fight. Just out of respect, saying I'll say Tank in 10 right now, but I'll give Loma 10. But I don't want to see this fight at all. Like, you know what I mean? I'm at this point in my life where I waited too long for Wilder and Joshua. You know what I mean? I waited too long for Pacquiao and Floyd, like we just talked about. So this fight 2 years ago, sign me up. You know what I mean? Where we are today, no. Like I'd rather probably watch Tank fight Teofimo. I'd rather probably watch that.
That'd be a good fight, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather watch Tank fight Pitbull again.
Yeah. No, that would be definitely interesting. What you say, Wild Card?
Nah, this is such a interesting dynamic because obviously I think Loma is definitely getting up there in age where he's at that point where he's exiting his prime. You know what I'm saying? But he still has enough that he can still be dangerous. And I think this is why if this happens, I think this is why Tank takes his fight, because Loma's still dangerous enough that he can make this a good fight.
Right.
But he's, like I said, he's on the edge of his prime. He's coming out of it. He's not entering it. And so when you're going up against a guy like Loma, it does enough to kind of keep the critics off your back to say that you fought a quality enough opponent
finally, but
you still didn't fight your top tier opponent that you could have fought. So I think this is well played by Tank and his team if they get this fight where it's
like, was smart.
Hey, it's because obviously the advantage of being Tank's corner, being a younger guy at least by 6-7 years, and the power will be in his advantage. But I also will say this: I just think Loma is experienced and has so much knowledge of boxing that if Tank is kind of overlooking him or just kind of looking past him, trying to look at the next big fight, Loma can still tag him and he's not going to knock him out, but he can stretch it to 12 rounds and outbox him, because I think Loma's still talented enough that he can actually outbox Tank.
Oh yeah,
and
you see that in the first few rounds with Frank, and then Tank do that thing where he like to drop rounds in the beginning.
Yeah, Frank was winning that fight,
but that's the problem. Loma does that too.
Yeah, because Haney won for me. If Lomo didn't gas the 12th round and threw more punches, I would have gave him that fight against Haney. To me, Haney won the first like 6-7's a swing round, but then Lomo just took over after that. But he kind of like gassed a little bit on the last round. And just real quick, I think the master plan now that Gervonta Davis cares about belts, because he didn't care about belts. That's why was his reason why he didn't want to fight Haney. But now he cares about belts. If he beats Lomo, he gets the WBO. If Shakur fights Burchik, the guy who beat Navarrete, then he would have he has the WBC and he'll get the IBF. So that Tank has the WBA. He could beat Lomo, and that's 2 belts. If Shakur wins, and that's 2 belts, they can fight for undisputed at 135. So that's the plan that should happen. But
that's the play, huh?
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. This time next year should be Shakur versus Tank undisputed at 135. That's supposed to be the play.
I hope so. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Should have been the play 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Hey, he didn't care about belts back then. In Florida, they didn't care about belts. Belts.
Irony.
Hey, look. First of all, while I'm sitting up here agreeing with y'all, y'all got to back off my city a little bit.
Yeah,
You got to back off a little bit, though.
He lost my
Let's
respect
get
when he
back.
hit that woman.
We talking about Haiti. We talking about Haiti.
yeah,
When Tank hit that woman that hit and run and flipped her car, and that pregnant woman
Right.
saw him and get in the other car and drive away. I lost all respect for it. Domestic violence stuff, I get that, but when he did that, nah, I can't rock. I'm sorry. Personal level,
goodness gracious.
No, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's why he was in jail. And then he didn't want to. They put him in jail because he was not where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be at Coach Calvin's house, but he was at posting pictures at the hotel with the big spread of seafood and stuff. Like, get your black ass in jail. What are you doing? For real. Take your way ass in the jail. You want to act like that? Like, come on.
They can't be playing with them boys, man. Especially now if you got something to lose, they come get it from you.
You can't play young. You gotta play with men.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good.
That's how you do it.
Let's talk a little football if we know, because I know Wild Card was over there cooking them on his Chiefs. I seen you and Chris. What was that the brother's name?
Yeah. Chris is good peoples, man.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. I seen y'all was cooking over there. What you think your Chiefs gonna do this year, big bro?
Hey man,
I see y'all talking about the defensive line. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but I seen y'all talking about the D line, and now I wanted to get in, but I had to start the show.
Nah, you good. I say this, man. NFL, you had your chance to take the crown last year. That wasn't even the best version of the Chiefs. And obviously, you know, me being a Chiefs fan, I've seen so much football of the Chiefs. That wasn't the best version of Patrick Mahomes. That wasn't the best version of that offense. And yet y'all still let them got another Super Bowl back to back. It's scary what happens when you give a quarterback like Mahomes a top 10 defense, because he doesn't have to be his best to still win. And that's what happened last year. So now you got to see the boogeyman with another good defense, and you add more speed and outside threats to his offense. You can't sleep on Hollywood Brown being signed to the Chiefs. The reason why you can't sleep on it is because we got to remember Hollywood Brown had 1,000-yard receiving with a Lamar Jackson, and his number one target was Mark Andrews and a run-heavy offense. And then you had Xavier Worthy, who just broke the combine record for the 40. So what I'm saying is, and definitely what I'm getting back to, the main point is, you didn't see the deep threat with Mahomes the last 2 years, and because we didn't have Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Trust me, that deep throw is coming back this year. Top is coming off. It's going to look like a convertible for 18 weeks. You know, we about to be like young Jeezy, you know, got the bra, no titties out. We about to be like Jeezy, dog. Top off.
Until y'all run into me, until y'all run into Packer Nation, man.
Buffalo gave Kansas City their new Tyreek Hill. That's what happened.
That's it. Hey, Buffalo gave us Patrick Mahomes. They gave us our new Tyreek Hill. They've been helping us win Super Bowls for the last 5 years, and they can't manage to win one day damn selves. So thank you, Buffalo. You know, so I mean, look, I'm a realist. Are the Chiefs going to be undefeated? No. Are the Chiefs going to run into some obstacles? Yes. Do I want them to three-peat? Of course. As a fan, I do, but I'll be dismissive of some good.
I don't know. That's a little bit tough to do.
No, it is tough to do, to get 3 in a row. Hey, it was tough to what they just did to get 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they'll break up the team too.
Yeah. Look, everybody's getting better, and they're all trying to beat the Chiefs. We can't act like the Texans didn't get better.
Right.
The Texans got better.
That's true.
Snead might be a big loss.
Well, yes and no. Yes, and I say yes because when you get a guy that pretty much only allowed 1 touchdown and didn't happen to the playoffs, I mean, that's pretty damn good. And the reason why I don't think is not a huge loss is because our GM he's always done a great job of finding good talent in the secondary. So that's never been none of his issues is finding talent in the secondary. So it is a huge loss, but at the same time, I got faith that the GM has always done a good job of finding talent. I mean, he found L'Jarius Sneed late in the draft. L'Jarius wasn't even a top fourth round pick or something like that. I think he went in like the 5th or 6th round. So there's always talent that he's always found. But I would be naive to think that it'd just be a coast for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. It's too many good teams, especially in the AFC. The AFC is so top loaded with you could probably go maybe 8 to 10 teams deep that could possibly make the playoffs. I mean, all 4 teams in the AFC North could possibly go to the playoffs.
Right.
You look at the Texans can get in there. Jaguars got some work to do. They might sneak in there in a wild card. Who else? AFC East. Obviously, Buffalo's had that division on lock for the last few years. Miami, they've been making the playoffs.
Stop the cap.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem, though, is that even with all that being said, there's only 2 teams that I would be concerned about. You know, like you have to factor in the fact that Baltimore brought in Derrick Henry. You know, that's first and foremost. And they were in the AFC title game last year.
Yeah.
You got the Texans with their improvement. Still a little young.
Yeah, they
you
are.
know, but it's one game. You just got to beat them one time. This ain't the NBA with a series.
Yeah.
You know, outside of that, I don't know who in the AFC stops Kansas City. I don't trust Aaron Rodgers. You know, and we still got to see him come back off of that injury.
We don't know what he could do with them.
I don't trust Tua once Thanksgiving comes.
Not at all.
You know, so anytime, as soon as the calendar turns December, you're done with Miami. you know, there ain't no Tom Brady coming through. You know, you look at Pittsburgh, right? They're still trying to figure out what quarterback. You know, Russell Wilson. I'm not worried about that. Cincinnati, can Burrow stay healthy?
True.
You know, Cleveland has the defense, but that defense doesn't travel. You know, Kansas City's division, unless you just want to go, hey, the Chargers got Jim Harbaugh now, and Jim Harbaugh, you know, like you ain't worried about nobody in the AFC West.
No,
you know, and so when you look at the rest of the South, you know, Tennessee starting Will Levis, you know, the Colts are starting Anthony Richardson coming off an injury. Like, there's just nothing there in the AFC. So realistically, the only teams that I could see stopping Kansas City in the AFC, like I said, are either Baltimore or Texas. Houston, I mean. And then in the NFC, I guess you always got to give the 49ers a punching chance, you know, based on their roster.
Yeah.
You know, Detroit, you know, is going to be good again. Outside of that, I don't see who stops them.
Yeah. Now, hey, that's a fair point. Especially in NFC, I could definitely rock with you on San Francisco and Detroit. I think Detroit, I think they're definitely going to be what we're seeing lately from them is that's the norm from Detroit. Because
and maybe the Rams, because you got to give McVay a shot.
Whoa.
No, just off of McVay, the scheme, off the scheme.
Rams.
I was all with the Chiefs takes, big bro. But let me do the NFC North. The Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions should go right back to doing what they do.
That sounds like some Packer hate, bro.
Yeah, because I've seen this movie before.
I mean,
I've seen Stafford and Megatron had a decent season. Barry Sanders had one decent season. We've seen this movie. They won good season every 30 years. We'll see.
Did you see what Josh Jacobs said today?
Wow.
Did you see Josh Jacobs' comments today?
No, he blamed it on Aaron Jones.
He said, "Oh yeah, they used to have a running back that run 30 yards to get you 5."
Wow. Wow.
Okay, bro.
Of all people, okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. I mean, all right, Josh. Okay.
Hey, I'm not mad at Josh Jacobs' take. You got to remember, this guy was getting 1,000 yards behind that trash O-line he had in Vegas.
True.
So it's not like you know, he ain't got a leg to stand on. So I mean, I'm not mad at it. I didn't understand the point of throwing the shade toward Aaron Jones.
That's just right. That's setting yourself up. That's setting yourself up when you do shit like that.
Yeah.
Who is your squad, Club?
Well, I was waiting because I'm sick and tired because
Tired of being sick and tired.
I've had torture and hurt the last 3 Super Bowls the Niners were in.
Yeah.
We don't call pass interference, but I guess when Chiefs play against the Ravens that year, because Jimmy Smith was all over Crabtree. Let's not act like that didn't happen. But I guess when it happens to the Chiefs, it's cool. Shanahan finds a way to be up by 10 and still lose. I'm not going to get into the whole.
Yeah, what's wrong with that picture, buddy?
I'm not going to get into the holding calls that weren't called. Okay, because Chiefs haven't had any holding calls, and there were some. No one, so it's not like it didn't happen. So at least you're realistic. So y'all held, and a lot of those Nick Bosa highlights, but they called him on Trent Williams. I guess he's a nobody, and others. But losing in overtime when Spencer Burford wants to crash down on the center instead of block the best interior defensive lineman right now, Chris Jones, and let him a free shot at Brock Purdy. If he didn't do that, he had Ayuk open because Snead had slipped.
Yeah,
he had a touchdown right there. So with that, and Steve Wilkes just calling prevent defense and saying, Mahomes, you know what? You're not the best quarterback in the game right now. You're not a future Hall. You're not one of the best ever. We're gonna play back and just let you have 8 yards to work with and move down the field on us.
With 4 minutes left on the clock.
Yes, I just like Kelsey went 9 for 9 when Greenlaw went after Greenlaw got hurt and they just started going to Kelsey. It ate us up. But the Niners, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why the sports gods hate me. I'm still, but the NFC, I still think it'll be us. I think the Packers will take a next step. I don't know if they're at that level to get to the NFC Championship game, kind of like how the Lions did. The Lions should have beat us. I'm not unrealistic in that. The Lions should have beat the Niners, but because of their coaching, they lost the game. But the NFC, it's really, I would say San Fran, because our roster is still pretty much intact. I'm gonna put the Lions up there. I'm gonna put the Packers up there. McVay, I mean, he's only beaten Shanahan once in the last 9 games, I believe. So I don't
when it mattered though.
No, well, he beat us the last game of the season, and because it's 4th and 2. You want to do a reverse with damn
well, I was talking about the playoff game, the year that they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, the
NFC Championship game. Yeah, we was up, and then Debo's having a crazy year. You only score like once.
Tart dropped the interception.
So wait. Crossy Tart, when he dropped that, I said, when that happens, me being a fan, I was like, all right, we're gonna lose. I already like when Tyreek Hill got that 40-yard pass on 3rd and 15, and Bosa got held down, and he caught that. I said, oh yeah, game over. Game over. I mean, I've seen this shit all the time. So, but I'll put the Niners up there as one of the better teams with the Packers, with the Lions. Other than that, the NFC's kind of wide open to me. As far as like Mel said, like Mark said with the Chiefs, I can't count Mahomes out, and if he ever plays the Niners, they're going to beat us. I can't have it is what it is. I'm a battered child.
At least we all
Philly still got the talent.
Hurts is still. I'm not there on Hurts.
It's something about Philly. They just. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's the dog in them. Ever since they won that Super Bowl, it's like they've done just enough to be relevant, but not enough to be over the top. I mean, but I think we all can agree the Dallas Cowboys ain't doing shit.
100%.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're right.
Dak is about to get $60 million a year. All right, he's justified.
Is Flo on here?
He gonna get his $60 million, and they gonna go another 10 or 15 years without an NFC Championship game.
Thank you, Mike. If they give Dak that more money, I'm trying to tell you right now, all they're going to do is set themselves up to just be what they've been since they had that. Is to make money, keep those Cowboys fans hooked to the Cowboys train, give them hope, and then let them down when it comes to playoffs. Did you see what happened? Well, of course, Tony, you saw what happened in the playoffs.
Right there.
that was a complete abomination to win your division and then all of a sudden you have home field advantage against a Packers team with pretty much a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love, and
Ricky team, big bro, Ricky
And
team.
they were undefeated at home too.
Yep.
Jordan Love was looking like damn John Elway in that damn game.
And Dan Quinn becomes a head coach. Go figure.
Hey! No,
Hey, no, you know. Hey, you know, he becomes a head coach.
Well, no, but Clubber, that you think Dan Quinn gave a damn about that game? He had his job locked.
Yeah. Go. He was already tired.
I don't think the Commanders wanted him. They wanted someone else. I forgot who it was. They wanted.
No.
I know. I wanted McDonald. That's
who they wanted. They wanted McDonald or somebody because trust me, on the radio shows up here, they were all in on. Dan Quinn was not even.
Yeah, it was McDonald
the
and then he
radar
took
at all.
Seattle instead. Yeah.
This hire is kind of like Jim Zorn, like when they had no choice but to get Jim Zorn. Dan Quinn was not on.
Time out, club. Hold up, time out, man. How you going to sit up here and talk about all this pain that you went through?
I live up here. I know. I hear the radio. I hear the radio
Love
show.
Company, huh? Misery Love Company, huh?
Look, yeah. Dennis Erickson, Mike Singletary. Who else do we have?
I was all happy.
Mike Nolan. I'm with you. I know how it feels. I know how it feels. But be living up here and looking at this shit firsthand. Come on, now.
It's different. He's saying a mouthful, bro. Lou, let me throw you in there, big bro. You a Dallas fan, ain't you?
Cowboys fan, yes.
Wait. But, is that Jason Witten?
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on. I forgot you Yankees and the Dallas. Yeah, you go through a lot of heartache, a lot of big marketing heartache.
I do.
Yeah. At least you hear about his teams every day on TV.
That's a fact.
No. Hey, Lewis, you a gluttonous for punishment, man. Being a Cowboys fan, bro.
And a Yankees fan. He just don't stop there. He get himself 182 more games of pain.
Yeah.
And a Knicks fan.
Oh my God.
The trifecta. He got the trifecta.
No, hey, but real talk. I love what the Knicks did tonight, getting Mikal Bridges. I like that though.
Yeah, that was a sneaky move.
That was a great move.
I missed that.
I like it though. I like it.
That was a great move.
I've always been a fan of him.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna produce more wins and hopefully a longer postseason run, which is we've been missing for the last 2 decades.
Yeah,
I was rooting for him this year.
But you know what, Lewis? I'll say this about the Knicks. So no, but here's my thing. I think you guys are the only threat to the Celtics in the East. If you ask me. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I felt that way before you guys make the move today, getting Mikal Bridges. Just because I don't trust Embiid in Philly. I don't trust him. He'll go from MVP to bus driver in a heartbeat and roll over the next person to blame on why he didn't succeed in the playoffs.
In one game.
Right.
I don't trust him.
So are the Knicks really trying to be Villanova for real?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I just thought about that. Good Lord.
Villanova Knicks.
No, I was just looking at the details. This is like a hot take Jake trade right here.
Bang, bang.
No,
That's
for real.
That's wow.
You see these picks that they gave up to him?
For the record, I'm gonna clip that up and send it to the bottom line. I'm sending that right to them.
He was on earlier. I'm looking at it. I just pulled it up. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I missed
they
it.
got fleeced.
I didn't even see. Look at
25,
these picks.
27, 29.
But the reason why I'm not mad at it is because Mikal Bridges is an easy 20. He's an easy 20.
And he plays defense.
And he plays defense. So when you look at a guy that can play perimeter defense and get you 20, you add that to what Jalen Brunson does for you. Hopefully, and I absolutely mean this, hopefully Julius Randle can find something in there. But I also think that Julius Randle might not be in the equation. I think you move off of him, if you ask me. Right. But the reason why I think the Knicks, were even before this trade went down, are the only threat in the East. Like I said, I don't trust Joel Embiid. He'll be bus driver running over somebody. Reason why he didn't succeed. Milwaukee, I don't like the combo of Giannis and Dame. I don't think it works. It just doesn't work.
Right.
I don't like that combo. And the fact that Adrian Griffin got them to 31 wins in top 3 team before they fired him was a miracle. Let's be honest. That was a miracle. So I don't trust what Milwaukee's doing. I don't trust obviously Atlanta's a dumpster fire. Detroit's
Cleveland, Orlando.
Cleveland, I don't trust Cleveland. First of all, Cleveland got too many guards. Somebody's got to go. Whether it's Garland or whether it's Donovan Mitchell, somebody got to go. They're too guard heavy, and they don't have enough wing players or big men to compete with a Boston or Knicks.
But the Knicks still have a very big problem, though.
What's that?
Tom Thibodeau.
Oh yeah, well, he's gonna ride people to the dirt. Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? He's a good coach, but I'm not. So I don't want to shade him. But yeah.
That's Coach Lewis.
All 5 starters of the Knicks are going to lead the league in minutes played before you even get to the playoffs.
They're gonna burn them motherfuckers
before you get to the playoffs. You talking about burning the candles at both ends? That's the definition of him. Is Tom Thibodeau? No, Mike, you're 100% right. I think I don't know why he hasn't adjusted his coaching philosophy. I understand playing your stars major minutes, but he doesn't go into his rotation enough, and by the time you get to the playoffs, like you're burnt, you're tired,
and they have good players. They have good players that they can bring in.
Yeah. Here's a team I will watch out for besides the Knicks in the East. I will watch out for Orlando, though. I will watch out for Orlando.
They're on the rise. They're coming up. They're like a year or two behind, like where Minnesota was this year. You know, they're getting to that point.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clubber, but think about it this way. And the reason why I say watch out for them, because they got the experience this past postseason and what they did. But when you're so young like that, you're young and dumb. You play with so much reckless abandonment. You play with house money. So hey, we're going up against the Celtics. We don't give a damn. I mean, people think we're going to lose anyway. Just throw it all at the wall.
They still missing something though. They are missing something.
Yeah, they are. I think they're missing. If you ask me, I think they're missing a legit point guard. If you ask me.
Well, I actually like the guy that they drafted last year, Anthony Black. I like him a lot, and I think he could be that answer. And I think he's 6'7" or so that could be an issue. But I like him, especially put him next to Paolo. And
Paolo's a dog, man. Oof.
Yeah, he is.
He is. Man.
Paolo's a dog, man.
No, I like Paolo a lot. I think that I hope that Orlando doesn't go get Klay Thompson, because I think that's going to mess up everything they got going on. That's the number one team projected to get him. I'm like, why would y'all get this dude all your money?
The most bland person ever. That guy is.
No.
Him and Jason Tatum, they should just have like a podcast about.
Hey, stop! Hey, don't. Hey,
those two cornballs, like.
Yo, Jason Tatum could take over for Bob Ross
easily.
Yeah.
Man,
hey, I'm starting to think you just don't like yellow boys, man. You don't like.
Hey, I put it like this. I like Tatum as a player, amazing player, but like, stop trying with the moments. And then Klay, I got bone picked with him because he did that funny style stuff when he went at Devin Booker and he was like, I got 5. Well, we talk about this game right now. What about y'all 2? Okay, he's cooking you.
Yeah, we
talking about you got 5 rings. Make it out of here. Bill Whittington got a lot of rings. Okay, people are like, get out of here. Joe Bushler got a lot of rings.
Damn, Bill Whittington in 2024 is wild. That's nasty, bro.
Yeah. He's bringing up the name.
I ain't heard Bill Whittington in 15 years,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for the Randy Brown reference.
Hey, there you go. Don't sleep. Don't sleep on Luke Longley going to the Suns later. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, matter of fact,
out of this, man. My boy ain't doing none.
All-star BJ Armstrong.
Hey, matter of fact, we heard Bill Whittington's name in 26 years. Now that I think about it, damn.
Yeah.
Man, just because I'm petty and you brought that pain to me, you know what I'm saying? All what the Bulls did to the Knicks in the 90s. Woo.
Yeah.
We had to.
Yeah.
The pain passed.
Hey, but Tony, what y'all Bulls gonna do, man? I ain't been worth a damn since '98, man. Yeah.
Gentlemen, Gentlemen, hold on. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna go dolo real quick. my Bulls, bro. They go Sky, go Team Sky. I mean,
Hey, you the number one Chicago Sky fan now.
Keith Reese, baby. Big Reese all the way, man. Big Reese all the way.
The Big Reese.
Bro, when we traded,
buy you Barbie.
Now look, I wasn't not upset about, I knew he was gonna have to come off Caruso as much as I love Caruso. I knew he was gonna go. But Josh Kitty Giddy, man. I gotta sit up here and make blogs about Josh Kitty Giddy. I just started the Chicago Bulls show. I'm canceling it, bro. It's a wrap. I'm not doing it with the Bulls. I'm sitting here thinking they taking this serious. I'm taking it serious.
You bring his name
everybody,
up.
Everybody
can't come to your house.
Everybody fell in love with the last dance. You don't want to have the first dance.
You know what I'm saying?
Josh Kitty Giddy. I'm like, baby.
Tony,
Damn, bro, why didn't y'all call me before y'all made that trade?
Tony, quit bringing his name up. If you want trick or treaters coming to your house, stop bringing his name up. Okay, you might have to put a sign up.
Hey,
I stopped saying it, bro. When his story came out, I made 2-3 videos on it. And I said, I'm leaving this alone because this is just nasty work.
They clever. Hey, Chicago thought they thought they were straight. It was like, damn, you already got rid of R. Kelly, man.
Surviving R. Kelly and Giddy, like
you know what I'm saying? Those freaky ass dudes need to stay inside.
Yeah, like, man, we good now.
I'm like
this. You know what I'm saying? Wait till Josh Greedy break out the crossover. He called it the A minor.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Y'all got me thinking about calling my older siblings, like, hey, hide the nieces. Hide the nieces.
You know what I'm saying? DeRozan keep the family away.
Homeschooling this year.
My man Mike said he took a core he thought it was A minor.
Man, bro. Go ahead, get him in, man. Go and get him in.
Patrick Williams, though. Patrick Williams. I like Patrick Williams.
I'm waiting on Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen to have a son.
Let's stop.
I don't know. She talking about she got a crush on Bronny now.
Oh yeah. She on Bronny James now.
Freaky ass need to stay inside.
Then what's his name from the Pelicans?
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, what's his name for the fat?
Zion.
Zion, come on, Zion Williamson. Yeah,
Fat bust.
Didn't he get older women get him too?
He got a stripper.
Yeah,
he got a straight up porn star. Yeah.
It's like a lot of these older women getting these young dudes. They be preying on them, so that's.
Yeah.
Hey, you see Jalen Green, baby mama?
Jalen Green,
3 years younger than us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Drea.
Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner also.
And Dre is known to be a man eater, straight money bag grabbing little body. But hey man, I ain't hating on the young fellas. I'm just looking at these old little cougars like, damn man, you looking real predatory. It's like,
I think Jalen Brown had one too. The Bernice chick.
Hey, bro,
yeah.
She bad dog.
Bernice
Burgos is bad dog.
They all bad. But then imagine Jerry Jones hawking on Caitlin Clark right now. That's what we doing.
You see Bill Belichick out here.
Bill Belichick already doing it.
24-year-old.
Bill Belichick already.
They had to stop the roasting on Robert Kraft. They like, hey, don't talk about that. Tom Brady's joint.
Yeah. I heard Bill Belichick and Shorty was coming out to burn the house together, like something like that.
You know what I'm saying? I think they had a picture of him reading Little Red Riding Hood to her.
Yo, stop!
Wow. Hey, he was at a cheerleading competition up here at the National Harbor with her. So,
Yo,
wow, bro!
All boxing broadcast, bro. Thanks for pulling up.
ABB.
We get them on the. Yeah, we're gonna get up here and talk some boxing. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, Club D, but I got some tanker bells for you, bro.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. A 30-year-old prospect, huh?
Shout out to my boy Prince, man. But they've been on my heel. They tagging me in everything. You see Devin Haney on the floor? You see Devin Haney? I'm like, come on, man.
he knocked him out. I mean, he got up.
So we got the bronze sexuals, we got the tanker bells, we got the Clarkians.
Damn. Earl Spence had those too. Earl Spence, there you go, hit the bud.
It's a weird time in sports, man. All these old weird fandoms just popping up out of nowhere, man.
I don't like. For me,
Well, yeah.
Barkley was my favorite player. I'm a Suns fan. When he retired, I stuck with the Suns, but like Jason Kidd became my favorite player. When he won with Dallas, I was happy he won, but you wouldn't see me rocking a Mavericks jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna ride or die with someone else. I still got my
Right.
squad. I think that people like to stick with their tribe, but nowadays they want to stick to their favorite, Indian, if I can still say that word. You know what I'm saying? So it's
does
like
the Lakers hiring JJ Redick count as the Lakers giving LeBron some hawk tour?
Hawk.
Jenny Buster.
Spit on that thing.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I get it though. I was an Isaiah Thomas fan growing up. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Miller. But I mean, I never was like, yo, I'm a Pistons fan or I'm a Pacers fan. Like, I just appreciate them dudes.
Thank you. I could rock with you can rock with other squads, other players and whatnot, but like I like Virginia Tech football. I ride it down with them on Saturday. At 4:00 after they play, I can't just switch jerseys like I'm a sports Clark Kent and turn into Mr. Alabama and be like, yeah, go Roll Tide. I'm not doing that. No. If the Hokies get their ass, which they probably usually do, I'm mad. I can't just be Ohio State. Man, get out of
Hokies gonna be good this year, man.
we're gonna be good. We got some good recruits coming in too. Kyron Drone.
Over hit him with that Roll Tide real quick, man.
That's why I don't trust people with multiple teams and stuff like that. Like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, wasn't that a Stephen A thing? Roll Tide.
No, that clown, man.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna lie though. Like Alabama is the most entertaining thing. You remember when that man called the radio station? Yeah, I poisoned them trees.
Oh, the trees.
Yeah, poison them trees.
Poor Auburn too. Poor Auburn.
Hey, they was mad when Cam Newton beat them, bro. He was mad about that.
I was so happy too because I was sick of them winning.
Yeah,
so happy.
The crazy thing about Alabama, I'm not saying they're going to have a downfall. I think they're still probably be competitive in the SEC. I just think it's so funny that NIL, all that ran out Nick Saban. He couldn't compete no more because the playing field got leveled. It got leveled, and all the things that was in your advantage for all these years. Leveled the playing field, and now I can't hang no more. I just think that's it. What it makes me think of is how much were you really coaching? Because it's all good to have his second and third string could have started on other people's colleges. They were starters. He had starters at the third string. That's how much depth he had. So when you got that much talent, what exactly did you really do? Did you just let the talent they really did?
His defense, so it was really who was the offensive coordinator at that time and their vision.
I think Nick Saban is he from that old school, bro. That's why he wasn't even in the professionals. He don't want to deal with egos, overpaid divas. And when you got a college athlete, we got these kids coming from high school, you got a raw product. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I can mold you in my image. Now, I'm not saying whatever he was doing was correct or whatever, but we see it with Bill Belichick too. And Bill Belichick got rid of the dudes when it was time to pay him, so he can get a prospect, and I can make you into what I need you to be, so we can win a Super Bowl. I don't need a Terrell Owens over here yelling at Tom Brady, and we we got everything on the line. But I see. I'm only saying that, Big Brother. I agree with you, and I also think that Nick Saban just one of those old school. We're gonna do it my way or the highway. And damn, I'm gonna take the highway if I got.
Well, you got to give Nick Saban the credit for like managing the personalities and getting them to buy in, though. Because I mean, look at Ohio State right now. Ohio State always got top classes. And Bama, quiet as kept. Bama number 3 right now for next year's recruiting classes. So it ain't stopping.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. What y'all think that coach gonna do? The new coach over there. I don't know too much about him.
He gonna be good.
He came from Washington, didn't he?
105 and 13 as a head coach.
Hey,
that's Nick Saban-ish. That's Nick Saban.
So my concern was obviously he doesn't have the ties to the South. And he doesn't know the kids and all. But Alabama pretty much recruits itself.
Yeah.
Still too much on that.
Yeah,
they got a lot of legacies, as far as families and all that kind of stuff. So you don't really need to do too much. Hey, come on down to Alabama.
Yep.
Well, to Mike's point, when you look at how many wins he got in his win-loss record, he can still sell some kids on the fact that, hey, man, I didn't lose a lot in my coaching career. So, and you're coming to Alabama, we got the resources. Don't worry about it. So,
and if nothing else, he say I took Washington to the national title game.
True. But to be honest, as much as I question how much Nick Saban did do as coaching because he had so much talent, Mike's right. You can't knock what the guy did managing all those personalities and egos, and because they're literally the top recruits all the way down to the third string. So you got talent everywhere. Literally, so you still got to manage that and still have them buy into your coaches to still be relevant on the field. So that's some big shoes to fill for the coach at Alabama. I mean that's literally New England still hasn't found a quarterback since Brady. That's almost the equivalent of that when he legendary shoes to fill. Legendary shoes to fill. This is
Jeff Garcia.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But I will say this: the SEC is still the premier football conference. So adding Texas, adding Oklahoma, and you still got Georgia. Still got something to say. As much as I dislike Brian Kelly, he still recruits very well at LSU. So hey, my cats in Missouri, if they went to the 12-team playoff last year, they would have made it. So they're not bad.
They might make it this year.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. So but I think SEC is still going to be a tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, because all the when you look at it's not even to some degree very underrated. It's not even about football. It's just if I'm a recruit, especially nowadays, all the stuff we were talking about boxing earlier, trying to set up all the advantages in your favor. So why I'm trying to go to South Bend, Indiana, and it's going to be 20 degrees and snowing, when I can go out here and play in 65-degree weather in November.
Or deal with those strict academic rules.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. But Nebraska. Everybody thinks Nebraska is going to be good this year, but I'm but Nebraska's never going to be Nebraska again.
I don't see
it. Frazier ain't playing. Frazier ain't playing. Lawrence Phillips ain't playing. So
I don't see Nebraska getting back to those glory days. They're gonna need a full uproot the whole system and reset it. I don't think it's just not there no more. And plus they can't out recruit Ohio State and Michigan. They just can't.
The tides have turned.
And they don't have a home base to recruit from.
Yeah, they don't. And they damn sure can't they can't even out recruit Penn State. So I damn sure can't see them. Now that you add USC, who's still by name is a powerhouse.
Yep.
You add UCLA, who's still a name by powerhouse.
Oregon.
Nike University, basically.
Nike University.
They cool jerseys.
They get recruits off of just jerseys. So it's like so you go from being probably the fourth most important school to you just got bumped down to at least 8th and 9th, that just like that from expansion. So it's Nebraska, they got some work to do. If they think they're gonna get back to them Tommy Frazier glory days, they got hell of work to do.
Yeah, you gotta beat Iowa and Wisconsin first.
Yeah, they can't even beat them. so now you add them to the equation, Mike. They damn near went to 10th to the most.
See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Iowa out recruiting you while scoring 10 points a game.
We had Caitlin Clark. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Nebraska got the Japanese dude, though. I saw he signed the Steph Curry brand.
Oh, yeah? A young boy?
Okay. Yeah, the basketball player, yeah.
That's what's up.
Hey, you gotta do that again somehow.
Well, fellas, I don't mean to cut the episode short. You got to do the hubby wifey thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me, I had about minutes in me anyways.
Yeah, she come in here. You been on here 3 hours. I'm like, man, I'm working. Go watch the game so you can catch up. Get out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That ain't what you said. We know that ain't what you said.
I said.
Yeah. We know you didn't say that.
I looked her in the windows of her soul.
It's like, yes, honey. All right. I'll end the episode.
I guess. Hey, but when this thing blow, Big Bro, y'all gonna see the whole man cave. I'm going Gilbert Arenas with it. I'm like, hey, telling my son lock the door. Tell your mama and your sisters we'll be out.
Yeah.
In session on the sign. It'll be outside the door.
Yeah, she got me a little on air little sign, but I just don't got no really where to put it. But I'm like, I can't wait to get the man cave. That's the first thing going up. Michael Jordan on air. Whenever this is on, we stay out of here.
It's a process. It's a process. You got this.
Amen, brother. Amen. But I definitely appreciate everybody pulling up. We go around the horn one more time. Let the people know where they can find you. Wild Card Mar, Big Bro, go ahead and start off the show.
No doubt. Hey, thanks for having me, bro. Hey, you know what it is, man. You see it right there, right under my name. Go on to Twitter, Casey Wildcard Mar. I'll be doing a ton of projects, a lot of collaboration. Of course, with bro Tony the Savant, Clubber, Omar, Ball and Buds, Bottom Line, 613 Fate Productions, Man Down. I be all over the place. So just do yourself a favor, go on right there. Twitter at Casey Wildcard Mar. Appreciate the love and support as always.
Big facts. Mr. Lewis, the legend.
All right. Enhanced Sports Show. Like I said, you'll find me on Saturdays, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also find us on YouTube. I also use StreamYard as well. We handle almost everything in the world of sports. We do cover the basics: football, baseball, basketball, hockey. We cover college sports too. Yes, we cover the WNBA and sometimes golf during the majors as well. So you can check us out. Tony, I'll give you the number to call in for Saturday, possibly tomorrow.
Okay, yes, sir. Do that.
So Tony, when I give you the number on it, spread the word, okay?
I sure will. I wanted to ask you real quick, Lewis. Is that a New York Rangers hockey jersey right there?
That is a Mets jersey.
A Mets jersey?
Yes.
I was gonna say,
I have a Rangers one too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just more heartbreak, man. Just
I know. That was before I knew the announcement because that just came up only 20 minutes ago.
Dagger.
Fair deal. Mike.
Yes, sir. So you can find me 25 along with Mr. Logical on Mondays and Thursdays, 9 Eastern. Sports Reports Disordered, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Twitter, all the good things. Anywhere you get your podcast, if you want to download and all that good stuff, come get your sports authentic talk. We don't necessarily got the hot takes, but we just trying to educate a little bit and drop some gems, So come check us out, holla at us, and we are here for you.
Hey, good shit, big bro. And last but not least,
oh yes, hey, pleasure meeting Tony. Thanks for having me on. Mar, always a pleasure.
For sure.
Mike and Lou, nice meeting you guys.
Sure, likewise.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, you catch my Ball and Buds. We got a show this Thursday at 8:00. Catch us on YouTube, Ball and Buds, all one word. You can put us on YouTube at Ball and Buds. I got a TikTok page, Clubber D. I'm starting to post more pictures on videos on there, and it's late, so I'm just babbling. But yeah. Catch me. I got Clubber D at X, but more you can find on IG on Ball and Buds or YouTube. So shout out to Omar. I see you out there.
Big facts. Yes, sir. The sports professor. When I get that studio going up, fellas, we all gonna be in one location on one time. I know it's a little later for some of us than early. That's the only thing I hate about leaving Texas, man. I'm in Idaho and I'm on mountain time. So yeah. I'll be wanting to start the show. They be like, hey, we're gonna start at 8. That's 6 for me.
It's time to eat, bro.
Man, around that 5 to 6 time, that's when my kids in 8, it's most active. You're gonna hear all the bumping and all that. So I'm like, yeah, we can start the show. I'm gonna be stressed. We can start the show.
Man over there shucking potatoes.
Man.
Oh, man, hey, do what you gotta do, brother.
Hey, quiet as kept though. Idaho is a beautiful place.
Oh yeah, it is, big bro. And I've been getting outside. At first, I wasn't kick. I was a little homesick. I mean, I'm from Chicago, but I just fell in love with Texas. But Idaho got some stuff. Me and the wife been, seeing the natures and all that kind of thing. So I'm giving it a chance. I'm trying to open my, my mind up to it.
Yeah. You trying to break all the stereotypes, huh?
Yeah, I told you, Doug. Hey, I'm the only nigga in Nampa, man.
Hey, good fam, I don't give a damn. You can't take the city out of me, boy. I mess with the nature like that, dog.
They saw Tony. They were like, I thought the only potatoes were brown.
Hey, no, seriously, bro. Hey, we be at Walmart and everybody looking like,
oh man.
Okay, we haven't seen one of those in a while.
Hey, that's how I felt when I moved to Iowa. I was like,
yeah.
The
one good part though, I know I'm the toughest motherfucker here. Ain't nobody ever gonna pull nothing. Like,
there you go.
I ain't never like that.
What? Y'all wow.
This is actually the first episode of All-Star Selections, fellas. So I'm just like an open panel, something I wanted to do. I didn't tell you this. Well, you already know this, wild card, but all you gentlemen on this panel, this is the only people that I watch and that I thoroughly enjoy. So it's always dope to kind of network anyway and get everybody in one central location. I would love to see you gentlemen on each other's panels as I'm watching y'all, because I'm a fan of everybody on this panel. And like I say, it's a lot of fugazi out there, a lot of dudes out there just clickbaiting, but anybody that you see on the 20 the Savant panel is legit. Make sure y'all go set up to all these brothers' channels. Drop a sub here, join the family as well. Like all that good stuff. I am Tony the Savant, and thank y'all for pulling up, big bros.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Always.
you. Easy. Peace.
Pleasure.
Peace.
Peace.